When are we getting the Apari jumpers? I want to wear that.
I look like a DLC character cycling over here wearing this and sunglasses.
My character during a cutscene.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm your host for today, Garnt. Joining me once again are the boys.
Hello.
Saw, dude.
How are you guys doing today?
Yeah,
Good.
doing all right.
You guys have had a busy, I guess we've all had a busy week,
I was
right?
about to say, you really started off with, the deepest sighs. How's it going, guys?
You sound like you didn't want to be here.
Honestly, yeah, it's been. I think it's been a pretty busy week for all of us, either traveling or doing stuff. Joe, you went to Korea for the first time, didn't you?
Finally.
I wanted to ask you about that.
Finally went to Korea.
Yeah.
Just for 3 days for Aki's birthday.
Right.
Yeah, it was freaking awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, big surprise. Korea's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Wow.
Big surprise.
Huge revelation. The food there was freaking amazing. Wow, no one knew that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We were just being tourists for 3 days, just because I've never been there. Aki's never been there, and it's so close to Japan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 2 hour flight.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it takes longer to get to Okinawa than it does to Korea. right?
exactly.
And I've been to Okinawa 5 times. So I was
Yeah.
just okay, I have no excuse. I gotta go.
Whereabouts did you stay?
Mostly just in Seoul.
Yeah.
I think because we only had 3 days, so
Yeah,
I
it's not
figured
really worth traveling
yeah,
much.
I was should we take a day to go to Busan or Gangnam or other places like that? But I'm just I just kind of wanted to explore actual Seoul because it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's fucking massive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you see it on the map, right? And it's
Yeah.
just it's not that much different to Tokyo, for example.
Yeah.
It's so much bigger than that. Because even if it just seems down the road, it's it's 20 minutes by train, and I'm like, how does that work? But yeah, so because we have a couple of friends who used to live in Korea quite a long time, so we were just give us recommendations for the most touristy shit we can do.
Yeah.
So we went to the food markets there and the equivalent of Tokyo Tower in Seoul, which is called Namsam Tower, I think it's called. Yeah, it was really cool, just super chill. One thing that I was pleasantly surprised about is that everyone can speak English there.
Yep.
And it's awesome.
Wait, really?
Yeah, even if you walk into a store, right, and immediately they greet you in Korean, but then the moment you start speaking English, they just switch full on to full on fluent English, and they're just oh, okay, yeah, sure. No problem.
I was surprised by that when I went to Korea as well, because there was a few times where I was just me and Sin were staring at the train map, trying to figure out how to get to the place we want to go.
Yeah.
And every time we stood there for more than a minute, someone came over and was like, "Oh, do you need help?" in perfect English.
Yeah.
And would explain how to get there in perfect English.
Yeah.
And I'm just yeah, I'm going to see League of Legends. Okay. do you know which stadium that is?
I'm trying to watch Imagine Dragons, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was so surprising that I think just not only the fact that English is such a prevalent language that's spoken there, but also just one massive difference I saw, especially compared to Japan, was not only that, but also just how much people are okay with being on camera. Because Aki and I were both vlogging our entire trip. And, when you go to the food markets, for example, and, you'd point the camera at the food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think my Japanese brain kicks in.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm going to try and avoid getting random people into my videos because they might not like it. No, there was so many instances where I would point, the camera towards a food stall or something.
Right.
And the man or the woman behind it would just be like, yay! They were so chill and okay with being on camera. And when we were at this random food stall, there was this Korean couple that just started talking to us again in perfect English.
Yeah.
And was just oh, I wouldn't recommend that if you don't like spicy food. In the most and I thought oh, have you lived outside of Korea before? And they're never left the city. And then why is your English so good?
What the hell?
And it's just, I got a glimpse of what Japan might be if English was as commonly used as it was in Korea.
Right.
Because immediately, as a tourist, I felt so much more comfortable, just kind of talking to people, and I wasn't as, obviously I was trying to also practice my horrible Korean as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it failed, then there was always that fail safe of, they can speak moderately decent.
You have a safety net.
Yeah,
right?
they have a safety net, which I feel a lot of people who come to Japan as a tourist unfortunately don't really get.
Yeah.
Purely because English is just not as commonly spoken, and you get that nani like face, right?
Yeah.
Every time you go.
I mean, I think we are very, very lucky to know English because it's such an OP language if you're traveling about.
Yeah.
And you forget sometimes that, you forget sometimes when you travel, there are some places that just don't know much English at all. And Japan is like one of those countries in comparison to some other major cities and then a lot of like other, like, let's say culturally famous places. Japan doesn't really speak that much English. China's a big one as well. Like, it's like if you go to like any major Chinese city, a lot of people there do not speak English, and you forget, okay, English is only popular in certain places in the world.
Yeah.
And there are some places, and you've gotten used to being able to just like kind of like push through with, really slow English in some places, but in Japan, it's a lot harder than other places.
This is why everyone should learn charades professionally, just in case they don't speak English. You can then at least be like, all right, I know how to symbolize what I'm doing. Like, can I have chicken? Oh, that's not good. Stick on chicken, please.
Stick on chicken.
Stick on chicken.
No, but obviously, the food was freaking amazing there. Like everything.
Do you have Korean fried chicken?
Of course.
I was going to ask, all right, how many times though? Like, I think I would have come back with 15 like points of higher cholesterol. I would have hit it every day.
I mean, we only went once, but it's because we tried to have as much variety of Korean food as possible. So we were just like, we're just going to try everything. And we saved the Korean chicken till last because it was like, you know what's gonna slap. It's pretty hard to mess up, and I know, like, and also my Korean friend was like, go to this place because this is the best place to go. And we went there. Man, I had a food wars moment. I was like 3/4 chub at least eating this chicken, and it was amazing.
That's like fried chicken, man.
The Korean, like the barbecue there, the K barbecue there was also amazing and so cheap too.
Yeah,
it's insane. Like I thought eating out in Japan was cheap, but then when you go and eat out in Korea, it's like.
It's even cheaper.
It's even cheaper.
Yeah.
It's great because like even the food stalls and stuff like that, I get confused initially because, compared to the yen, the Korean won is like one extra digit. So 300 yen in Japan, which is about $3, is 3,000 Korean won.
Yeah.
So when I initially look at the prices, my heart just goes, oh, but then I realize it's like, oh wait, it's like $3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got some of the most like amazing like street food there. Like everyone was so like hospitable and like friendly, and they were so like eager to be on camera as well. Like I had this one woman who like dragged Aki and I into this seafood place, and she just like lured us in. We were like, all right, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And she like dragged us into her shop, and she just started serving us this like fresh crab meat with like like on a bed of rice with like a little bit of kimchi on top.
Yeah.
And it was the most amazing thing ever. And she was plating it up like she was fucking serving it to Gordon Ramsay. She was just like, okay, I will do you the best thing for you. Here you go, camera, look at this. Like she kept pointing to the camera, being like, focus on this right. I'm like, what are you, a YouTuber? It's like a food review channel happening.
Yeah, that's super sucks. I guess you're always in Japan, and rightfully so. You should assume that people just don't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
That's the correct way of assuming.
Yeah.
But that is, it's weird to think that they're just like, bro, I'm the movie star. Get me on camera. How do I look? Angle video. Flip the camera around. Let me see it. Oh yeah, okay, good.
Yeah. No, honestly, like a lot of them were like that, and and it's more understandable if it's like younger people, right? But a lot of these people running these food stalls in Seoul of the older generation, which you would think is not that comfortable with being on camera.
Right.
But I guess, the place we went to, the famous food markets there's been so many like food channels like doing videos there and TV stations doing videos there. So I guess they're just like used to being on camera now.
But I also think, this is total conjecture, by the way. I think that when I went to Korea, it felt so eerie, right? Because it was so like you go to Seoul and you look around and you're like, this feels very much like Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like I remember saying to Sydney, if you had just dropped me in a random place in Seoul and dropped me in a random place in Tokyo, if I did not recognize kanji at all or anything like that, I would have a trouble distinguishing from like first looks which city I'm actually in.
Yeah.
They look eerily similar, but then you walk around and Korean people, from what I experienced, were just a lot less reserved than Japanese people, right?
Yeah.
Japanese people are very, very reserved. And I think I would like to guess that internet culture is just a lot more prevalent in Korean culture, I would think.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's literally the country that kind of like birthed esports, right? That's where esports had its major roots put into it. So I would imagine that just the whole culture over there is much more aware of just in the internet age and just the online culture.
Oh yeah,
I believe so. Yeah,
it's the only country on earth that is, I think, faster internet than Japan.
Yeah.
I think it has one of the fastest internet connections in the world.
I think it's number one.
Yeah, I think it's number one.
Exactly.
I can't remember if it still is, but a while back.
I mean, I certainly had no problems connecting to any Wi-Fi. That's for certain. It's so publicly available.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Did you partake in the drinking culture at all?
Oh, yeah, of course I did.
Bro, it is. They are brutal over there, man.
Bro.
Holy shit.
I mean, my only saving grace was that Aki is not that much of a drinker. So I kind of had like a scapegoat for that. But my God, man, like I just even going to like the K barbecue and just looking across the room and just seeing like 20 soju bottles for like 3 people that are just sitting there and they're just laughing and drinking away like it's nothing. I'm like, bro, I feel sorry for the doctors that have to check up on your goddamn liver every year. Like,
sounds brutal. Soju is so tough.
Oh my God, yeah. But I did though. I guess like the one aspect to, I guess, the friendly, the stranger friendliness in Korea that almost backfired in a way was. There was this, I think it was like the second night we were in Seoul, and we were just kind of walking back from a restaurant, just chatting away or whatever. And this random dude just came up to me, random Korean dude, and I knew something was kind of weird because he kind of flagged me down. Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, hey mate, how's it going?" He kind of spoke in like a slight Australian British-esque accent, but the kind where it's like a bad impression.
Right. Oh, okay.
And at first, I thought it was a fan. Yeah. Right? Because he just came up to me not so nonchalantly.
Yeah.
And so I responded like I would if it was a fan. I shook his hand. I was like, "Yeah, man, how's it going? Like how's your night been? Blah blah blah." And then randomly, he just points towards this building in the distance, and he goes, "I work there." And I went, "Cool." Didn't ask, but I'm glad. I'm glad you're happy that you work at that particular establishment that I'm unaware of. And then he just started asking me questions like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" Blah blah blah. Yeah. And that's when I realized, oh, he's not a fan. He's just a random dude who just stopped me and I guess just wanted to start talking to me for some reason.
No, that happened to me twice when I was in Seoul. I was in Seoul for like 3 days as well.
Yeah.
And people like just randomly, obviously we look like tourists. And I think, I don't know if it's normal for locals to do this, but especially I felt like someone just wanted to practice their English.
Right.
They saw a tourist, they were like, "All right, boys, it's time." And Unlike Japanese people where they're like very reserved, they're like can't talk to random strangers. Don't do that. Don't break people's social boundaries. Koreans are just like, you know what? I'm just gonna strike up a conversation and see where it takes me.
Honestly, and I think the only reason why he decided to start talking to me in particular is because I think he heard my accent. And then he mentioned to me that he lived in the UK for a couple of years. Oh, okay. And that's how he learned his English.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I mean, good on you. Like, your English is certainly better than, the average Korean that I've talked to so far on this trip. But also, it was at like 11 p.m. on a side street. And my first instinct was, this guy's trying to fucking mug me. And I could see Aki's just like shitting herself, just being like, get me the fuck out of this conversation right now. And then I found it really weird when after all of that just kind of chit chat, getting to know, about him and his supposed workplace, he was like, "Where are you staying?" And then that's when the red flag went up and I was like, and I just mentioned some other hotel. Yeah, I just mentioned some other hotel. I'm like, "Oh, it's like down there. We got to get the train or whatever." And he's like, "Okay, do you want me to like take you to that hotel?" And I was like,
"Okay, bro.
That's a no from me, dog. I know my way. We've been here for a couple of days. It's all good." And so I started to get really, really worried.
Yeah.
Luckily, he like left me alone after that. And he was just like, "Okay, have a good night, mate." And I was like,
too friendly.
Yeah,
okay, that didn't happen to me.
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, you too, man." And I just fucking bolted across the road. I'm like, "Please don't follow us." But yeah, that was it was scary, but also I don't know. It was a little bit endearing, right? Because that is a situation that you will almost never encounter in Japan,
right?
Especially if the Japanese person is striking up the conversation.
Yeah, that would never happen.
That would never happen.
Absolutely
here,
no way.
Especially in Tokyo. So yeah,
I was gonna say it's happened a few times outside of Tokyo, but not in Tokyo.
No. It's happened to me in like Osaka and stuff, right? Where the stranger friendliness is a little bit better, but never in Tokyo.
Yeah, going to Osaka. This is a random question, which I noticed because I also just recently went to on Connor's RV trip, which was major success. Congratulations, bro! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, why do people on Osaka on the escalator stand on the right hand side and people in Tokyo stand on the left hand side? What's up with that?
Oh, that's a West Japan versus East Japan thing. That's what they do. And people in Hokkaido stand mostly in the middle.
What?
Yeah. Did you ever notice that?
Do they really?
Yeah.
I feel like they don't.
That's like a thing that they do.
Who decided this?
I'll be real. I don't think I've been on an escalator in Hokkaido.
Wow, that's an achievement.
I actually don't think I have.
Yeah, but for some reason, I don't know who came up with this rule, but for the most part, if you live on East Tokyo, you stand on the left. If you live in West Tokyo, you stand on the right.
I was saying to God, I think this is just like a little quirky thing that they wanted to just keep.
I think so.
And they were like, that's our thing.
Yeah.
We're different. we are different from Tokyo. I think they just kept it. Yeah. Whereas like other places are like, we have, I don't know, we're more alcoholic than you. Whereas in Japan, they're like, we stand on the other side of the escalator. And it's like, what? What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a random piece of thing that I noticed when I went to Osaka.
But that's how you can tell if someone is from outside of the prefecture.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like that's the silent way to out someone to be like, oh, he doesn't belong here.
You're not from around here.
He's not from around here.
The OP way is to just copy what everyone else is doing at all times.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Pretty much.
And then that way you can't go wrong. And then I don't even know which side is left or right. I still haven't figured that out.
Yeah, you still have to do this thing.
I just copying people. I don't even know what side of the road they drive on here. I just follow the other cars. Like I don't know.
Did you notice in Seoul, for you when you went out late at night, were there just a lot more drunk people on the streets than you would expect in Tokyo?
Really?
Holy shit! Every corner I walked around, it was like Shibuya meltdown, but like every corner. It shocked me so much.
Not only that, but it was Shibuya meltdown at like 8 p.m.
Yeah, right.
And it's like we're walking to the restaurant, and I just see a dude asleep in the hedges on the side of the road. I'm like, homeless or just very, very drunk at an 8 p.m. on a Friday?
Yeah. I was going to say, was it a weekday or just was it?
So the first day we got there was a weekday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But even still, it's like, even on a weekend, I'm like, damn, these boys going hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even that late and you're already like this?
Yeah. That's one thing that surprised me because I thought in Japan, there is a big drinking culture here in Japan, especially, with workers and salarymen and everything like that. But in Korea, I think it's just on a whole nother level.
Oh, yeah.
It's
because soju fucks you up so much harder than anything Japan has.
They don't just fuck you up. They mix that shit with beer, man.
I know.
And I know there's a word for it, but it's like, it is, traditional.
I think it's called devil's concoction because that's what it should be called.
It is called regret the next day. That's the official Korean translation.
Hangover speedrun.
Yeah, because I don't know, like soju, I think, like unflavored soju, that shit tastes.
Awful.
It's like so turpentine, dude.
Holy shit.
It's horrible.
Gross. It is. I cannot handle that stuff. It tastes too strong for me. For some reason, most of the time you mix some kind of spirit with a beer, tastes worse, right? For some reason, soju and beer, I don't know how they had this magical concoction that it's the perfect spirit to have with beer, but also it's the most dangerous one because mixing any spirit with beer is just like I've rode way too.
I love beer, so that hurts hearing that they mix it. I know they mix it, and I've tried it, the soju with beer, but I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, I like my beer being beer.
I'm kind of indifferent to it.
Like beer?
Yeah.
Maybe just because I'm a soju hater, but
what's
anything with soju, I'm like, nah.
What's like the go-to beer in like Seoul? Like, because you know how Japan has Asahi, and in the UK we have terrible beers.
I can't remember.
There is one local Korean
beer. It's
beer.
like the goat beer.
What's the goat?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it the goat.
Well, no, it's just like it's like the beer that you drink if it's like cheap.
Yeah,
Kai knows it.
Cass. That's it. Yeah.
It's like they're like Asahi. Okay. Well,
yeah.
I think
I had it and
I had this one time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all right. Like,
I mean, I've had it, and I don't blame them for putting soju in it.
The bog standard beer shouldn't be the best tasting beer. It should just be a passable beer.
No, of course.
Cheap, affordable, and very easy to churn out.
Yeah.
Right. That's why Asahi's good because it tastes like very what's the word?
It's inoffensive.
It's so inoffensive to everyone.
Yeah.
Even if you're like not a big beer person, you're like, well, Asahi doesn't have much going on.
Yeah.
It's just very light, very easy to drink.
I think Asahi is my favorite out of like the mass-produced worldwide beers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like not the best beer, obviously. Okay, Germans, Belgians, calm the fuck down for a second.
Obviously, that crown goes to Budweiser, as we've established.
But if you go into a bar or a pub and you see something on tap, and it's just one of like, Carlsberg, Asahi, Heineken, all like the normal ones, I'll choose Asahi every time.
Oh yeah,
that to me is like, it's the most refreshing beer, and it's the most inoffensive as well.
Fair enough.
But so yeah, I don't rate Thai beer at all. That's just me.
I mean, we had it in Thailand.
You guys had it, and
I mean, it was all right.
I knew they didn't know what was going on with beer when they tried to hand me a straw. That's when I knew. I didn't trust them. I was like, this beer can't be good. No, don't give me a straw. What is that? What is a Fruit Loop?
Yeah, but like, I think the other thing that just got me shocked while I was in Korea was just, man, I haven't weighed myself, but I definitely put on weight because I mean, for one, I was eating so much more because everything was delicious. But I'm like, two, how do these Koreans stay thin? Like, it's insane. Like, because everything just seems so inherently bad for you, especially when you compare it to like a lot of Japanese food.
I guess it's the same in Japan though, right? Like you can, when you come as a tourist, you can easily eat everything, and it's like most of it's pretty bad for you. But if you're living here, you probably eat a lot more healthy stuff. You probably have way more kimchi in your diet.
Oh my god.
Probably don't eat fried chicken often.
Dude, my farts were smelling like kimchi. That's how much I was eating. Like,
was there a noticeable taste in the kimchi in Korea compared to foreign, or have they got it figured out?
Yeah. Much? Okay. So like, I think the one reason why I rate Korean kimchi over like Japanese kimchi or like anywhere else I've had it is that like the cabbage just feels fresher.
Okay.
Like, even though it's weird because it's fermented, right? So technically it's not fresh. But I don't know. So it has like a certain like crunch to it, I think.
Right.
Okay.
That just feels nicer to eat. I think like a lot of kimchi I've had, especially in like Japanese like yakiniku or wherever, is like it can get a little bit sloppy sometimes.
Right.
And very like soupy.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel with Korean kimchi, they don't overdo it with like the sauce or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So it just feels lighter to eat.
I feel like that's more on like the chef or whoever's fermenting the kimchi and how much you ferment it.
But I had kimchi at every food establishment I was in Korea, and it was all pretty unanimous with like the freshness of it. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, this is a Korean.
Yeah, looking for the third person. This sounds like a placebo kind of thing. Yeah, it's just like normal kimchi, Korean kimchi.
Maybe it was. I don't know. But
in Korea,
I mean, it made my food experience that much more enjoyable. So I'll take it. But I also ate like way too much tteokbokki because like that's one of my fucking favorites. It's so nice.
Heavy.
It's heavy, and like, God, the first night I went to this like food market and I got like this full-on bowl of tteokbokki. This thing looked like it was sitting in a bowl of lava. Like, it was so much sauce in it, and it was red as hell.
So filling, man.
It's so filling.
I'm not a big fan of tteokbokki.
And God, my asshole was on fire the next day, but goddamn was it worth it. It was so goddamn good.
Here's what I want to know. How was the airport in Korea?
Okay,
I don't know why. I feel like you can judge a city pretty accurately on the quality of the airport.
Really?
I feel like it gives you an indication of what to expect. Think about every airport you've been to. I feel like it's very reminiscent of the city as a whole, right?
Maybe. I don't
Can
know.
you name an airport that feels wildly different to the city?
I'm trying to think, right? Because a lot of airports are very just neutral in my mind. There's only like the big cities that stand out to me.
Yeah. So like where we landed, which was Incheon Airport, which is I guess like the main.
Is there two airports?
Yeah, there's a number of airports in Seoul, I think, but Incheon is kind of like Incheon reminded me of Narita, where it was like kind of outside of the city. It was like an hour and a half away from Seoul Central City. But it's that's where all the international flights land. So we didn't have a choice.
That's the major one.
Yeah, but it very much reminded me of Narita in a lot of ways, whereas like very bog standard, very gray, simple, nothing like, they're not going like avant-garde with it like they do at Haneda, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, it's fine. It was a passable airport. I mean, anything compared to LAX, right? Like, so it's like, as long as it's not LAX level, I'm happy.
Just keep me out of LAX and JFK.
Yeah.
I just like making mental notes of airports to go to, of like which ones I liked and which
What's
ones I
your
didn't.
favorite airport?
Ever?
Yeah.
What, dude? I really want to go
Singapore.
to this.
Singapore is like Singapore's the goat, man.
Singapore is the goat. I agree.
I really want to go to that one.
Yeah.
Man.
Not to Singapore, just the airport. Once I get to the airport, I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm going back.
I've been to Singapore, guys.
I want to go to the Singapore airport to go to a better Southeast Asian country, right? Fellow Southeast Asians in watching this.
As a Malaysian, I would agree Changi is very...
It is a fucking nice airport, to be fair.
Why did I say fellow Southeast Asians?
Fellow Southeast Asians.
I'm one of you.
Hello, fellow Southeast. Hello, fellow white people. How are you today?
I don't know. Trying to think. Which one's been
I think Vancouver Airport's okay.
Vancouver's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Vancouver's very nice.
I've never gotten off at Vancouver, but I've laid over at Vancouver Airport. It was quite nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which airports have left an impression on me.
Vancouver has one of the best designs of terminals I've seen. It's got like a very nice theme to it. I think it's meant to be like, I don't know, it's like all wood. And I think it's supposed to be like reminiscent of like indigenous groups. It's lovely.
All I remember from Vancouver Airport
such a
is
middle-aged man conversation. Which airport is your favorite?
The only thing I remember from Vancouver Airport is that on the way to immigration, there's this like massive waterfall inside the actual airport. And I'm like, ooh, that's pretty.
Like you know, I think to all the airports I've been to, and I feel like they do kind of do a very good job of like mirroring the city vibes in many ways. Like LAX is like dysfunctional, but you can pay a lot of money to make problems go away.
Yeah.
And it's just a mess and a war zone. The UK is like kind of fun, but also just a lot of headaches, which I feel like is the UK.
What about Sydney Airport?
Sydney Airport was great.
I had a great time at Sydney
vibes.
Airport. You know,
good vibes.
It's
a lot of
that's a dub for us.
Yeah.
Like so many, like Sydney. I've never seen another airport do this. Sydney Airport, like on the way to go to the passport check, I've never seen so many alcohol shops. It was like last chance, and then you go through. You're like, all right, another last chance, and you're about to go through. Like, seriously now, you can buy 4 bottles.
It's like
tax free. What are you doing? And then when you get through the passport thing, it's like you put in your ticket to go through. It's like, where is your 4 bottles of alcohol?
Yeah,
you didn't buy any. Are you dumb?
Yeah.
Go back, your mate.
They're like, you don't understand how expensive
Jono wants 4 bottles of Bombay Sapphire.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's what every Australian complains about when they go abroad. They're like, the Bombay Sapphire is this cheap? Do you know how expensive it is in Australia?
Dude, it's
Holy
like
shit.
a bottle of Bombay in Australia is like $65. It's fucking ridiculous. That's why every time I come back home, my dad is like, 4 Bombays, mate. That's all I need.
It's not even that good gin, but it's just like pretty good. And it's like very good like consumer gin, I think.
Yeah.
You can get like fancy craft shit, but yeah.
Yeah, I really like Sydney Airport. But like, I didn't know if I actually liked it or I was just relieved because it was such a big contrast from flying to LAX to flying to Sydney. And I was just like, oh my God, a pleasant experience at an airport. Okay. Oh, I've missed this so much.
I remember when I went to New Brunswick Airport in Canada. New Brunswick is like right east, just before Nova Scotia.
Right.
Which was the weird thing as well, because I didn't realize that even had its own time zone outside of the normal US one. It's minus, so the UK is 0.
Right.
New York is -5, typically without let's say, ignore daylight savings. This one was -3. So it's 2 hours ahead of New York because it curves around like that. And this airport was so small. The person who checked me in then also helped like get the bags off the belt and hand it to the people picking them up. Like I checked in and then I put my bags on and then I saw the same person go back and start helping like move the bags around.
Right.
I was like,
I had the exact same
what the fuck?
I had the exact same experience when I flew to Yakushima for a
Yeah.
video. And I was like, because the plane itself could fit maybe like 20 people in it.
Oh,
it was
wow.
a tiny fucking biplane.
Yeah.
And we landed. And as we were coming down, I saw this fucking crap shack. And I'm like, that's the airport? It's like, I've seen apartments bigger than this.
Yeah, the thing that sucks about getting 2 hours early but for your flight for that is that you get there 2 hours early and you literally have nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. They
You
don't
go,
have anything.
you go inside and there's just like a bench. That's it.
Yeah, literally. And it was freezing cold because it was in like Canada. And it was winter.
I remember one of the weirdest airports I've been to was back when I was a teenager. A popular holiday spot for, young teenage Brits is Kavos, which is one of the, exactly.
Where is that?
It's like an, sorry?
Isn't it in Spain?
I think it's Greek.
Fuck.
It's one of the Greek islands.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite holiday in the world, but as a British teen, you go there and you just get fucking shit-faced hammered every day. It's that kind of holiday.
Okay, the equivalent in Australia is Bali.
Okay, right.
It's the only destination to go to just get hammered as a teenager.
And I remember the passport check at that time when I flew there was we landed and we go into the airport and I'm waiting for the passport check and everyone's like, all right, bring your passports out. And there's one security dude, no desk, no nothing, just standing there, and you're literally just waving your like there's a group of people just waving your passport as you like walk past him, and that was the passport check. And I was like, what is going on right now? Where's the national security?
Is this dude going, yep.
Are you, yeah. I've had a harder time getting into some nightclubs, and I'm coming into this country, and all I'm doing is just flashing my passport. Like what? I don't know if it's still like that, but that's what it was like when I was 18.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was, I remember I went to Greece and it was pretty much like they were like, all right. Yeah. What are you coming in? Yeah. No, don't get that. I don't get paid enough to check your passport.
This episode is sponsored by Bokksu. What are you holding there, Connor?
Why, it's a Bokksu.
That looks magnificent. Tell me all about it.
Well, Joey, I thought you'd never ask because Bokksu delivers the experience of tasting authentic Japanese snacks, candies, and teas sourced directly from century-old small family businesses. And their mission is to empower Japan's traditional snack makers by sharing their authentic food and stories with the world. Garnt, what theme do we have today?
Well, Connor, the first Bokksu you get is called Seasons of Japan. It's basically Bokksu's greatest hits for all of their snacks that everyone loves.
Look at all those snacks!
Look at that, baby. What are you going to get?
Oh my God, what do I choose?
And after the Seasons of Japan box, you'll get a new theme every single month.
Oh, I'm going to try these tomato arare, these tomato flavored
we
rice crackers.
We've had those before. Those ones bang,
Look at
baby.
that big mama. Crunchy, flavorful tomato.
I remember this one. I binged myself on the white strawberries whenever these comes in my Bokksu boxes.
Ooh, that looks good.
Every time, baby. 10 out of 10.
Not only that, but every Bokksu comes with its own tea pairing as well. This month we have the organic genmaicha.
And we've been living in Japan now for a while, and we never see snacks this unique at your standard konbini.
To get $15 off your first Bokksu Japanese snack box, use our code TRASHTASTE at bokksu.com. That's BOKKSU.com. That is BOKKSU.com with code TRASHTASTE for $15 off your first order.
But you went on your RV trip.
I did, yes. 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days.
RVing, 12 hours of live streaming a day.
God damn.
Right, yeah.
Long time, but I think it went really well.
At least you got your hours in.
Yeah, right.
I did get the old hours in. You know how it is. Yeah, it was really fun. Very stressful. Very, very stressful. Very tiring.
Of course.
You wake up 1 hour of prep and then go live and then 1 hour of prep and then sleep. Rinse and repeat.
Jesus.
And sleeping in an RV sucks. It sucks.
Well, it was a pretty big RV though, right? Like,
Yeah, you got the best bed as well, though.
I had the best bed, but it still sucks.
so what the fuck are you complaining about?
He had the double bed.
Yeah,
It's only a double bed. It's not a queen.
Listen. It's a cushion. It's a cushion. Okay, and so I rented so when I rented this RV, you could tick a bunch of things you wanted to rent with it, and I rented like the sleeping bags and the pillows.
Yeah,
and I mean, I'm not a picky guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I lie. I'm a picky guy.
That's cap.
Cap. I'm a picky guy.
Yeah.
But for this, like when it's a video shoot, I'm like whatever gets it done.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
sure.
like whatever we do to do.
Like you're not there for a holiday, right?
No, if it's a holiday and this happened, I'd be like, excuse me. But I know whatever.
Where is my king bed?
Yeah, I would have. Okay, so we rented the sleeping bag and pillow set. We get this pillow and it's literally just this like it's just a floatable like device. It's you would to blow it up.
Yeah,
it's like a pool noodle.
Yeah, which is like, it's fine. It's fine, but it's like I feel bad when I'm asking I got Pete and Didas joined me, and I feel bad when I'm like, hey guys, come join me. By the way, you got to be on camera for 13 hours and you have to sleep on an air pillow.
Yeah,
and I was just like, I'm sorry guys, man. I'm like, we can buy real pillows if you want. Like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It just sucks because you just want a real pillow sometimes.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just like go to like a donkey and get a cheap ass pillow?
Yeah, probably should have done that.
Yeah.
Probably should have done that. Didn't have much time.
Yeah, I'm gonna out myself for a bit. I didn't sleep on the RV.
Yeah, he didn't.
Okay, I think I
Immersion ruined.
Immersion. I know. So I got there on the third day. And I remember like I had a fucking mission getting to the RV on like the first day
so
itself. And I remember, at the end of the third day, everyone was fucking knackered. And you could tell, right? You can tell the difference between, Didas and Pete, who I would say have been creating content for like a less a shorter amount of time than I have because I'm like, when the cameras are off, I'm like, okay, we need to do a shoot tomorrow. I need to be well rested. They were being great mates, and they'll be like, oh, let's do the RV experience. It's we're fine with it. We don't need the pillow. I got there, and I remember asking, so where am I sleeping? And they told me where I'm sleeping, and I measured it out, and I'm like, I can't even. I was the tallest one, so I was like, I can't even lay flat, And I was like, do we have a pillow? And they were like, no. So I was like, in my head, I was planning out, okay, how am I gonna sleep? Am I gonna like take my coat out, use that as a pillow? Luckily, that was the day where there was like an extra like 2 beds that they had booked for that day.
Every day I booked like a bunch of extra beds in the hotel or whatever, just because it was like, all right, if somebody wants to, I'm not gonna be like, you have to sleep in the RV. I'm like, I'll do it because I feel like it's my thing and I should. But anyone else, I'm like, fuck it, go sleep in the, go sleep in the hotel.
For sure,
So after the cameras had rolled off, it was like 10:30 or something. The staff were like, everyone's knackered. The staff were like, all right, last call. Is anyone going to sleep in the hotel? This is your last chance. And I turn over to like Pete and Didus. I was like, are you gonna take the bed? And they were like, nah, man, we gotta stay here. We gotta stay here. Pete, you taking the bed? Nah, I gotta stay here, man. I'm like, I'll be honest, guys. I kind of want to sleep in a bed tonight, and we're on camera tomorrow for like 13 hours. Yeah. So I'm gonna take the bed, man. I've had enough shoots in my life that, because here's the thing. I remember when I first started like doing IRL content, I really wanted to get involved and immersed. And now, like, how many years after Trash Taste, I'm like, I just want a good night's sleep if I know I'm making content.
You can say that because you've experienced the Trash Taste road trip.
Oh yeah, that's that
where like that gave me so much knowledge into just how important a good night's sleep is.
Holy shit! I think it was because of the Trash Taste road trip where I was like, I'm gonna be real, Connor. I want a bed tonight,
No, we were like, yeah, go, just go. We were like, get out of here. Just fuck off.
Understandable. Get out. Have a good night.
I mean, I would have done it if there was no option available, because that's what I signed up for. But I was like, if the option's available,
hey man,
I'm gonna take it, man. I'm gonna take it. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes, I'm weak-willed. Okay. Yes, I know. Wow. I know. Okay.
It's fine. You didn't have to. I think what's important that you were on the stream.
Exactly. Matters, right? Exactly.
But it was fun. Yeah, it was great. It was a ton of planning, a shit ton of planning to get it all to do. Because we had to find like activities to do every day that was cool and would be interesting. And we had to make sure that we could get signal. And if we didn't, we had to figure out other solutions. Because I wanted to stream it in basically 4K. So because Twitch doesn't let you stream in 4K because it's terrible in that sense and doesn't let you do it. And I've complained so many times. I'm like, Twitch, please let me stream in 4K. But they say no. But you can like still stream in 4K and then downsample to 1080p and it still looks great.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to test out this 4K equipment and test out a camera with a better microphone to really try and make the IRL stuff feel more, what's the word? Upscale. I don't know, like more production.
Higher quality.
Yeah. Like it feels more like a TV show.
Yeah.
Where the camera doesn't stop rolling.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Which has its benefits and has its downsides. But and it seemed pretty possible. You just need a fuck ton of internet and good internet. Because you need like 5 to 4 times the bandwidth of a normal IRL stream for a 4K stream. So it's a lot more stuff going on.
Right.
And it breaks way more often. So I kind of was looking around. I started asking a bunch of people who knew all this stuff better than me. I was like, what camera is the best for this? Also, how do I do this? And how do I literally do everything? So you go and ask someone like, hey, what camera do I use? Then you'd be like, you go to the guy who knows how all the software works. Like, hey, will this camera work with this? This guy told me to get this camera. He's like, I mean, theoretically. And then I needed, dude, there were so many little things that went wrong before I even started the RV trip where I was like, I don't even know if this is going to make sense. Like, this new thing came out. Basically, like all streamers have like 2 ways of broadcasting. There's these 2 like boxes. There's like a cheaper, more custom one that's harder to use. But the benefit is that you don't have to pay like a monthly subscription. And then the one that most people use is this one that you have to pay a monthly subscription for. And it's a bit more expensive and has less kind of, customization. And that company that did that one brought out a bigger one that could do 4K. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then it turned out like to get it to work, you need to do a bunch of weird stuff that was like, what? And then you have to connect 2 modems to one USB thing.
Yeah.
How do you connect 2 modems to one USB? Well, you need a USB splitter.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't work. for some reason. And then I asked the company, I had to like speed dial the company and be like, hey, how do I get this to work? Because in the guide it says you can do this. Like, oh no, you need a specific cable that isn't released yet. And I'm like, what? But then they were like, oh, we can send you some though. And I was like, oh, cool. But like, how was I supposed to know this?
Yeah.
So luckily they sent me those and they arrived in time.
Yeah.
This whole fucking headache. This is even before we even planned what we're doing. Getting the RV, getting how are we going to film this thing? How are we going to do it? Basically headache after headache.
Yeah.
We got it to work though. And it looked pretty damn good, I think, for the most part.
Yeah.
Like we had to get creative with some solutions. So we even bought like a Starlink internet, which
Fucking hell.
to get that to work remotely, I bought like a giant power generator thing. Like a
You didn't use Garnt's one?
No, he
bigger.
bought like
It's
the
bigger.
final form of that, man.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah.
It's like a giant battery that you charge and it takes hours.
It's basically just a generator at this point.
Right.
Yeah, it's a generator basically, and then you basically like we only had to use. Luckily, thank God, we only had to use it like once or twice, because it could get like way better internet than any of the cell phone towers could give us.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you know, you're trying to stream and then you're like, all right, what's the internet? Oh my God, it's shit. And then you're on camera like, okay, and then you're like, all right, can we get the thing out? Can we hook it all up? And it's like you're just juggling so many things and you're constantly checking all the text working. And then there's other stuff like we have the tracker on the map that shows you where I am, but I have to do that as well. So it's like you're juggling just like 5,000 things.
Dude, this is why, like, as much as I want to try more IRL streams, I'm just so scared to, because I do not want to deal with that stress. Like, it sounds like a fucking nightmare.
But you can just hire me now, and I'll do it for you.
Can I get a mate rate? Or
We can get a mate rate going. Yeah, I mean, and it sucks because it's like I try to show these guys how it all works, and like with people who I bring along, but it's so tough to explain to people how a lot of this stuff works and if it breaks, how to fix it.
Yeah.
So it's still like if something breaks, more often than not, it's like, all right, guys, gone, entertain. I'm going to go and fix everything real quick.
Right.
And it's very frustrating, but I think it's worth it in the long run. Like it's a ton of stress and it's a ton of anxiety about if it's working. But I think the results speak for themselves. It looked amazing.
Yeah. What activities did you do?
Oh, I should. Yeah, I forgot to
watch,
even mention. I'm just too busy talking about the tech.
Yeah.
That's the part I spent so much time on. Yeah, I forgot.
Everyone's like, but the dolphins though, the dolphins.
Yeah, we went. So day one we did. We started in. We picked up the RV in Shin Osaka.
Yeah.
Which is the bullet train stop in Osaka. We drove to Awaji and then we started there. And so day one was just all of Awaji Island, which is beautiful. It's a stunning island that connects mainland Japan to Shikoku. And it's
also a weird fucking island.
It's weird. They have so much touristy stuff though. Like if you're a tourist, you shouldn't sleep on Awaji Island. It's so cool. They have so much support for English speaking tourists as well. And they have a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah.
So much anime stuff on Awaji Island as well.
Yeah, they have the Naruto theme park and the Hello Kitty Hotel, I think.
Yeah.
That's all there.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other, just like,
So
why
much
is
stuff.
this
Yeah.
here?
So much
kind of
stuff.
thing, yeah.
And, you know, one of the biggest challenges of doing IRL normally is getting permission.
Yeah.
And we had such a big rig where there was no way we could like, you know, kind of go in
Sneak
and
around.
just
Yeah,
hope,
yeah.
not even sneak around, but like hope that it would just kind of be okay. Like we had such a big rig that like we had to get in contact with everywhere and arrange everything beforehand.
It's got a career in it now.
Yeah.
Right. Apparently, I should go to fucking Korea.
Yeah.
Like that's what I should have been doing. But luckily, like everything we got permission for, it was all chill and it was great. So day one, we did did a Zen experience in this like Bond villain headquarters.
Conveniently, that's not a day I was there.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
you know, Pete got the dub on that one.
Yeah, and we had like fun. We kind of made a fun challenge out of everything. And it was like, dude, this thing was sick. You guys would love it. You guys would love it.
Yeah.
It was literally just this beautiful wooden structure that just extends over this view of like a bunch of trees and a bunch of landscapes in Awaji, and you can just meditate with a professional, I guess, Zen master.
Oh, that's
Was
cool.
it the woman that was there? I saw
There was a
clip.
Thai woman.
Yeah,
who
because I saw the clip of like the women introducing you,
Yeah.
and I was like, I think I hear a Thai accent
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
I think his name was Bilal. Was it Bilal?
No, the woman was.
No, the guy.
The guy was Bilal.
Yeah,
Okay,
Bilal,
right.
who is from Virginia, who trained with
the most Zen place on
trained
the
with
planet.
I think like masters of meditation in Japan, but I think they're originally from India. But so he learned everything in Japanese.
right.
I think an Indian guy. I think so.
Yeah,
I'm not sure again, but he basically just went through it, and he was awesome. He was up for the banter, even though we were kind of trying to make a joke or two while meditating. It was so much fun. It was great, and then we went to do Kawara tiles, which we'd done before.
Yeah.
But then I beat my record, and I beat their local record in that shop.
yeah.
I saw that clip, man.
That was so fun. That place was great. They had costumes. It was literally like this like John Wick, or kind of, it was so reminiscent of like martial arts fight scenes. The bottom floor of this building, it was literally just a factory, but it looked like a set piece of like
an old boy or something.
Yeah.
yeah, like a factory, because it didn't look like a real factory. It looked like a factory in a movie.
Yeah.
And then just above this factory was a Kawara experience where you go and smash them.
Hell yeah.
And I managed to break 34 tiles.
Hey.
Which is fucking insane. I didn't think I could do it. And then I was like, oh,
Did
wow.
Did you like kind of build yourself up to that?
Yeah, we did 20, and we'd been there for about 2 hours. I think at that point we were kind of like, all right, we should wrap it up. And I thought, just for fun, let's just go to 34, because we were going up by 5. And I was like, just add 14, because the record was 33.
Right.
And I was like, fuck it, I'll beat it. But obviously I didn't think I was going to beat it, but I thought it'd be visually pretty funny for the stream.
Yeah.
And then
Somehow smashed it.
Yeah, you got it.
It was the Bruce Lee costume, man. That gave you the power.
Yeah, it was the Bruce Lee costume. And then did it, and that was fun. And then we did like barbecuing, and then day 2 we did we went from Awaji Island all the way over to Shikoku, the northern part, and then went to Okayama, just above Okayama, camped there for the night.
Oh, so you went through the Setonaikai like driving trail that we did the cycling special? Did you go through that side, or no? You went on the Okayama side, so the other side. Right.
And we drove past like Takamatsu and Goat's Up.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
where we
yeah.
did like dolphin training and dolphin swimming.
How
And
were
those
the dolphins?
They're so cute. They're so cute, dude. And all the staff was so kind, and they were so nice, and and it seemed like they really were like obsessed with those dolphins. It seemed like they really loved it.
Yeah.
It was fun, man. Damn, dolphins are fucking crazy.
Did they meet the hype? Do dolphins meet the hype? The dolphin hype?
I'm still precarious about dolphins. Everything I've heard about them, but
I think we've talked to Malin one too many times.
Yeah, Malin's made me scared of dolphins. They were cute though. They were cute.
They're so incredibly smart though. Like,
oh yeah,
and it shows.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were smarter than me. When I was there, I was like,
it's not a high bar. But
Yeah.
I had to set the bar very
Monkey
high.
versus dolphin, right?
But they were cute and very impressive, very intelligent creatures. Yeah, and it was nice. And the that whole area.
What did
was
they
really
feel
cool.
like? Because I've
like rubber.
really?
They look like they're made of rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like they feel like rubber. Honestly, like smooth rubber. I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's very odd.
Yeah, because
Like a wet rubber.
Yeah, and that was so cool to stream because the clips of it look awesome. Like the quality of it, considering we're just on a pier in the ocean.
Yeah.
We're pretty like far out from the coast.
Yeah.
And it's really just cool. Like it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And again, I just my whole thing is that like originally for me this whole, which sounds so weird to say, like this whole Avi's trip was kind of like a test in my mind to see if this could work. And now that I see that it went really well, I kind of want to try and do it again, but maybe bigger, and see how I can improve it. Make it more easy on everyone involved as well, so that everyone's not exhausted all the time. But yeah, the dolphin thing was great that day, and they taught us about dolphins. They gave us a little quiz about how to
What did you learn?
how to tell between a male and a female dolphin. Didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Didn't know that.
So the one that has the massive cock is the male.
They have more lines, I guess, or spaces where baby dolphins would come out of, and where they would do the deeds.
Right.
That's the difference. I found out. They told us not to put trash in the ocean. Been doing that anyway. Been on a good run with that.
Yeah.
And then we went to this open air theater near the dolphin place. And dude, this open air theater is sick.
As in like a drive-in theater or something? Or?
What's the actual name?
Amphitheater?
Amphitheater. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like, and it's like this stunning theater, and it's behind it is the ocean.
Oh, wow.
And then if you stand in this one specific spot, your voice like completely resonates so loudly that it's like a megaphone, but you're just talking.
Right.
But only in this one specific spot. You have to stand there. If you move one step and then you sound normal, and you step in this exact spot, and it's like boom. It's like just gets like absolutely like, it's insane.
Physics.
It's like, what the fuck? How do they do that? I know it's physics, but like it was so impressive, just the volume difference.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. We had a little talent show there. It went really well. Pete won the talent show because of course he did. 'Cause he's so talented.
Of course he did.
Yeah, of course.
He's a
That
natural
doesn't
performer.
surprise
Literally
me.
the most
Yeah.
entertaining dude I know.
Yeah,
And then we
exactly.
had a barbecue while it was snowing in the middle of
that's
nowhere,
cool.
where Garnt eventually came and joined us at
Yeah.
like 1 a.m. after the stream ended.
Yeah.
But we were in the middle of, I don't even know, we didn't even use a Starlink that night, but we had really good signal in the middle of the mountains in no city. We were like an hour away from any city. I have no idea how we had any signal.
I don't know,
one
man.
thing that surprised me on the road trip was you when you're constantly on the air, sometimes you go to a point, it's open road, nothing to block the signal, and it just like loses connection.
Yeah.
And then you go in like a mile-long tunnel, and it's just like perfect signal all the way through. And I'm like, what?
It's so random, man.
How does this work? I should know because I'm an electronic engineer, but I'm just like, how are we having signal right now?
It's cell phone towers. You gotta
Yeah.
be close, and also depends on which provider they are and which sims I have.
Right.
But I have multiple different sims that should cover everything, but
Yeah.
it really depends. In certain areas, just have just nothing.
Yeah.
But the first day was pretty tough. I think there was
Right.
not a lot on Awaji, surprisingly. And the third day we did, which Garnt joined us
Yes.
for, we did
Golf.
golf. We went to a driving
We went
range.
to a driving
nice.
range, and I like. This was the first time I'd been on a driving range or like picked up a golf club since I was, I think, like 18,
It was
17.
fun. It was fun.
It's so much fun.
I told you.
Oh,
I've been
God,
telling you boys that we should go to golf.
I missed
for the
it
longest time.
so much. I missed it so
It's not until you
goddamn
hit the
much.
driving range where you're like,
Yeah.
why is this fun?
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that, and we did a competition to see who could hit it the furthest.
Yeah.
I won.
You won. You won.
I got one very good shot, and that was it. I kept
That's all you
hitting
need,
it.
man.
Dude, it was so fun. I want to go driving range more.
Yeah, hell yeah,
And,
man.
then,
I'm
and then
down.
we did what else did we do that day? I forgot.
We did sand surfing.
Yeah, we went sand surfing Totori.
Yeah.
Oh,
in
hell yeah.
Totori.
That was fun.
We went back to the ghost town that is Totori. I drove past the industrial area and we're like, don't look at that. Don't look at that. All right, look at the sand dunes.
Yeah.
Which I think looked even more like the weather conditions and
Oh, it's
just the
better than when we
color.
went, yeah.
What looked even better than when we went there on our road trip special.
Because
Oh,
the
wow.
cameras we were using for this live stream were better than the cameras we filmed the road trip special on.
Right.
So it looks better live, which is insane.
Yeah.
And I also didn't know if Totori was going to have internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, Totori has great internet as well.
Yeah.
So fun fact, there you go.
How does that
Yeah.
work? I don't know.
So we were it looks insane on the stream. We're just in the middle of a desert streaming.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck? And then we're going down these hills and it looks great.
Yeah.
Dude, it looks so underwhelming on camera, but it was kind of scary going down these because you're going pretty fast and sand. I mean, I didn't fall, so I can't
Yeah.
Oh,
comment,
it
but
probably hurts way more
I
than
imagine
snow.
you fell on your wrist, right?
I fell on my wrist once. Okay, so I'll say it right now. Sand surfing.
It's kind of meh. It was kind of meh.
It was kind of a meh
Really?
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you just go down and you can't do hills that are super crazy because I guess if you get too fast,
Yeah.
falling would be pretty dangerous.
And you can't
Yeah.
you can't turn either. We weren't given any instructions.
Oh.
So how I described it, sand surfing was basically felt like a tutorial level for snowboarding. Because I remember
with bigger consequences.
yeah, basically you fall, it hurts a little bit more. But essentially you go up to the hill. And I remember we had an instructor there and I was preparing myself for the instructions to start. And the instructions were, so don't fall.
Yeah, that was literally
That was like, don't try to turn. You're just going straight. Just don't fall. And that was the instructions. And he was like, okay, go.
You might as well have just like been on a sled then at that point. Like that would have been no different.
Actually, he told us before we started, he was like, if you think this is going to be like snowboarding, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? How can it be? It wasn't that hard, actually. He was capping.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like snowboarding.
Yeah.
You just have to balance the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, all he said was, he said it might be too hard, so he brought sleds as well, which was kind of worrying because I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. Too hard. Is someone going to hurt themselves? So he just gave us a helmet. He said, bend your knees and then just go. That was all.
Yep.
Wow. What
Yeah,
great
he-
instructions.
He pushed us, yeah.
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
goes, oh, by the way, 10-year-olds can do this. So like rub it in.
What an asshole.
Yeah. But
they were all really nice.
yeah, they were really nice. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of, it was like I said, it was kind of like snowboarding, except you couldn't do anything but go straight. So essentially, you just kind of had to learn how to balance going down a hill pretty fast. And I'd forgotten, like, it's been a while since I last snowboarded, and I'd forgotten basically everything I got told when I first started snowboarding. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember going snowboarding for the first time with the boys, and the first thing they told me was, when you fall, don't put your hands out.
Yep.
You gotta put your hands in. And for some reason, my mind was just like, sand's different. Sand's totally
I'll
different.
go straight through it.
Yeah. Sand is totally different than snow. I don't have to worry about sand.
Yeah.
And the first time I fell, I put my hand out, and it wasn't even like that big of a fall. I was going nowhere near as fast as I was going when I was like snowboarding, but I just had like a little bit, and my wrist hit my wrist, and I had that immediate moment where I was like, oh, that felt bad. That felt bad. I was like, okay, it's not broken. I might have sprained it. Luckily, I didn't sprain it, but had a big wake up call very, very fast. Falling on sand surfing, the fall, it might not be as hard as snowboarding, but the fall definitely hurts more. And luckily, I wasn't the one who ate the most shit. Probably Didas did.
Oh my God. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Didas, he would nail it going down, and the moment like the hill went from this to kind of like this, he just kind of lost his balance every time and face planted. I felt so bad for him. He just kept getting beaten up.
Jesus Christ.
He had a few falls that looked pretty painful.
Oh my God.
But he powered through it. He's a tank.
Trooper.
It was fun, but it was kind of like, it was very much like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, that's all we could do.
Yeah.
Like I'd feel like
Kind of sucks.
I mean, it was definitely, I think it was still like a fun place to check out. And it, I think it's like we hit like every kind of scenery. Like we went from like beautiful, stunning green islands to snow to desert and then back to Osaka. It was kind of like, it covered everything. And then we did that. And then we played not video games. We played games in the RV, which is really fun actually.
Yeah.
Break the Ice is a great game.
Yeah. You kind of introduced me to Break the Ice.
You played this game?
No.
It's like a little thing where it's like a penguin in the middle and a bunch of hexagons.
Yes, I have played this.
And then you go like,
Yeah.
so good. It's such a good game when everyone's kind of hype and ready and you have like punishments and it was so good.
It's kind of like that mini game from Fall Guys, the one with the hexagons. And you step
Except
on it
you
and
have to
it
hit them.
disappears.
Yeah.
But you have to hit them off.
Such a good game. There's so many good clips from it, and it was just it was such a good fun board game.
I think as much as like you guys did these like amazing things on the RV trip, I think my favorite clip to be birthed out of it was when you asked Didas what Milo was.
He got him good. He got him good.
It looked scripted. That's how perfect it was. Because he was so sincere about it. It's always like, what's Milo?
I thank you to the guy in Australia who got us with that, because that trained us to get someone else with it.
It's our new favorite.
Yeah, it's my new favorite. As a Southeast Asian, that's my new favorite, because we fucking love Milo in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
You know, that's our chocolate of choice.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
No, oh yeah, I said oh yeah.
Oh no.
Now your screen just went, oh yeah, and I was like, what? yeah.
Is it much better than Nesquik, or is it?
Oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Hell
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Australia's the same. We fucking love our Milo.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so good.
It was good because it was
depends.
like there was a lot of good clips in the car, and you know it's more of a podcast when it's in the car, and then it's back to the activities.
Yeah,
And
for
the board
sure.
games are really fun. That was one of my favorite aspects to it.
Yeah.
And just playing dumb board games, and just everyone has their own rules to everything. And
That's
like
what I'm saying, man.
Jenga.
We got to do more board games.
Jenga is
after
just
that.
like, what are the rules of Jenga? Because we just kind of like made it up as we go along.
There's like a million local
The only
rules.
rule that was sacred was top 3 layers can't touch top 3 layers. That's the
And I
only
guess if
sacred
you touch
rule.
it, you have to move it. Was the one that we played.
Yeah.
And you have to use one hand only, right?
Yeah.
That's another
Yeah,
rule.
yeah.
But I don't know if it's an official rule. I swear people just make up rules for Jenga. Be like, yeah, let's just make it a billion times harder than it actually is supposed to be.
Yeah, like we had this one moment where I swear this isn't allowed, but we had to run with the one hand thing.
Yeah.
And Connor used his one hand to basically change the entire structural integrity of this tower. It went from like a Jenga tower to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and he was just like balancing it.
I was getting it out my finger while kind of holding the rest of the thing in my hand.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
Really?
I was
I
saying
thought-
this
I thought you could do
looks
that.
so illegal right now.
Because it was like, what sucked is that we were like 4 turns in, and this one block wouldn't move. And I was
That's
like,
the point.
And I was like, are we really going to end this game in 4 turns? That's so boring.
Yeah, but how is that any different to like grabbing it with one and then using your other hand to just hold the entire thing in place, right?
I mean, like, honestly, Jenga should always get to that point in my mind where like you holding it makes no difference to like if I like it gets to the point where me holding it is just gonna make it worse. You know what I mean? Because it gets so fucked. The tower, it's like holding it is actually a disadvantage. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I'm trolling. I played it wrong. But
House rules, RV rules.
And it was like snowing outside, and we had the because the connection was kind of mad. We had like the Starlink on a table outside of the van connected to this generator, and then we were just using that internet, and that was like saving the stream.
Oh, hell yeah.
Way better, because we were in the middle of nowhere again, and that saved it. And then the last day we did airsoft, So
That was
survival
so
game.
much fun.
Yeah,
Hold
airsoft
on,
was
that was
good.
my first time airsofting.
Yeah, me too.
That lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to go again now. Like
It was fun.
I think I found it funner than paintballing.
Yeah, well, it hurts a little less.
It hurts a little less, and the guns just look cooler as well.
Yeah.
You know, reloading a airsoft gun actually feels like more similar to
true.
reloading a real gun rather than just fucking like
Yeah.
pouring a bunch of paintballs into the gun.
Yeah, that was fun. We had to
Yeah.
we were like, again, we had to like move the Starlink around to get internet because the bitrate was terrible there. It was such bad
Yeah.
internet because obviously it's an airsoft field. It's in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah,
But
got
we managed
shot
to
on
get
the
it to
neck
work.
3 times.
Yeah, your
by
neck's
Doug.
fucked up.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, I got shot on my
Looks
head
like
as
I
well.
got bitten
my
by
God.
a vampire actually.
Hey, you guys said it hurts less than a paintball.
It does hurt less.
I mean, this one
paintball.
fucking hurt. This one clocked
Yeah, I
me
was
in my
about to say
forehead.
like the scars tell me otherwise.
There's one red dot on Connor's
Yeah.
forehead that I did.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately,
That was the kill cam.
Because
Right?
like most of them are fine. Like,
Yeah.
they're like little stings, but like if you get hit in the head or the neck, I feel like that's where it fucking.
my
hurts.
legs hurt so much because we were in a course where it was just like a bunch of like parts cars, it was like the car park kind of area. First thing Dinah says was like, "Oh, I thought these were real cars, so I tried not to like shoot them." And then like they had broken windows and shit. But unfortunately, do you remember that?
Yeah, I couldn't believe you said that.
Average car park in Maine.
Average Ohio car park,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, like unfortunately, being tall was a huge disadvantage in this one because if I just poked my head out, I would instantly get a headshot. It was actually really easy to be quite accurate on the airsoft.
Yeah.
I was like surprisingly accurate because
That's cool.
yeah. Because I got a few headshots from like a distance. You got so many shots from a distance as
Yeah,
well.
I got a lot of headshots from distance, especially on Didus.
That's,
Man,
an,
it's not
that's
bad.
an FPS player advantage.
yeah, FPS player advantage,
Well, because I
right?
realized like when you're aiming it, like obviously I'm not like cracked at aiming airsoft because I haven't played it, but like
Yeah.
you shoot and unlike paintball, the airsoft bullet always goes the exact same like trajectory unless the wind
Yeah.
starts changing. So all you do is like do, and you can see where it's going, then just keep like
Yeah.
readjusting, and then you can pretty much get it so that like if they poke their head at all, you can just get them.
Get him.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can just slightly adjust. So I just kept doing that, and I kept getting Didus out. I felt so bad. I headshot him so many times.
Next time I see him, his face is just going to be like, fuck.
Well, luckily he was wearing
Like
a
a
really thick. He
beehive.
was wearing a thick hat, so like his face was totally covered.
Right.
He had the one that covered his ears too, so it was like he was.
Oh,
he
man.
was fine.
He was ready.
But yeah, it was really fun, and we had like unfortunately the cameraman had to go around with us, and he would get
Yeah.
shot sometimes because he was just going around. It looked awesome. It looked like an FPS thing, and it was like great quality, like 4K in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then we changed POVs where there was an area where you could go above and you could look down.
Oh,
with
wow.
the camera. So it was kind of like bird eye view of the whole thing
Yeah.
happening.
It's like no clipping.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like such a cool stream, and we had such fun with it. And it was great.
We had this one game where I just could not find Pete, and Pete clipped into another map. Right, there was like this indoor stage, right? That was like very narrow corridors, and Pete spent like whole 5 minutes in this outdoor map, and he didn't even know he was in a different map.
We didn't know he was in a different area. Like we didn't know that.
bro clipped out to a different fucking stage, man. But yeah, like it hurts a lot less than paintball. Like paintball, I feel like you can still even if you're wearing like thick clothes, you can still kind of feel it.
Oh, yeah.
This one, unless you get shot like directly on the skin, it doesn't really hurt that much.
Yeah.
Have you been paintballing before?
I've been paintballing before. I've never been airsofting.
Right.
Yeah, and I've been shot directly with a paintball before. And
That sounds like a very Aussie thing. Of
yeah,
course.
yeah. As punishment for whoever got the least amount of points, you'd have to get shot directly in the stomach with a paintball. And I had that a couple of times, and I was left with like literal holes in my stomach for
Bro,
like
the bruises
weeks.
you get from paintballing.
Oh, it hurts
Yeah.
so much.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
paintballing feels more like you're just trying to avoid getting killed, and airsoft felt more kind of because it didn't hurt as much. You kind of felt more fun. Pushing and, like,
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I do enjoy that adrenaline aspect of paintball where you're like, I just don't want to get shot.
Yeah, paintball is like Valorant, and airsoft is more like COD. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you do not want to get shot in paintball. You know, you're like, well, it's one shot kill. If I'm getting shot, I'm fucking out, man. But with airsoft, you're like, I can run this, I can run and go.
20 seconds. Yeah, you would just run around corners because you knew that if you got shot, it wasn't like the end of the world. But paintball, it's like, well, I'm gonna have a bruise if I get shot. So I have to actually like
this thing's gonna hurt.
I have to think about what's happening. Man, yeah, no, I had such a fun RV stream. Then we just drove back and ended it, and that was like 40 hours of streaming.
Hell yeah!
How's it being live for like that long?
It's okay for me.
I mean, he's done subathons before, so
I'm okay with it. But like, man, doing it and driving is tough. Like driving is taxing mentally anyway, and then trying to also be like good, like conversing while driving is hard.
Yeah,
which is why it's great to have, you and Pete and Di.
Yeah, the real question was, how was it for you? Because you're probably not used to that.
I was actually like pretty fine with it.
You've gotten really good at it.
I think after the 24-hour charity stream we did, that was like hard mode for me, and then everything afterwards was pretty easy. Because I remember like I think Didas and Pete, they were telling me like the second day was like tough to like make sure there was no dead air anytime for like 13 hours, right?
Yeah.
So like they were really happy. I tried to like put as much of the pressure off as possible. But yeah, it's just kind of like I said, after you like survive 24 hours with sleep deprivation and just like constantly talking, I feel like anything's possible. Anything's possible afterwards.
That's fair.
But yeah, I wouldn't want to do when I'm driving because I want to be zoned out when I'm driving, you know?
Yeah. I mean, especially because that's my first time ever driving a car that big. I think that's literally like the limit of what the license allows in Japan.
Yeah. Anything after that is just a truck.
Anything after that, I'd have to get a different license.
Yeah.
Because even like certain RVs, I can't drive. Like I have to drive the smaller RVs and the lighter ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get a different RV initially, but it was slightly too heavy. So I had to get this one. Which is fine, but it was really fun to drive it. Like it was, because the difference between like a car and an RV is an RV, you're kind of like deeper, way more forward in the RV. So you're like, there's pretty much no distance between your feet and where the car ends. So you can really clearly see where the car is like everywhere. Whereas like with a normal car that's kind of like got a bigger front, it's like sometimes it's way harder to figure out where the fuck the front of the car is. Sometimes. Especially like that corner, or I guess if you're in America, it'd be that corner. Sorry, not words. But it was fun though, because you get like this panoramic view of the road, because you have these giant windows to all sides of you that you can see, and these giant mirrors, and the dash cam, the behind you cam, like the rear view cam, is like on this big screen. It's really fun to drive. Scary on some roads, but I think I got pretty good at driving it by the end. I knew how to.
You look like a proper trucker.
You
had fully embraced that role.
It was fun.
You just needed the hat.
I had a trucker hat.
Yeah, you had the trucker hat. You needed the Red Bull and the packet of cigarettes, and
one of my favorite like out of context screenshots was like it was when Connor was driving and the stream had glitched, so it looked like he just removed his chin, so it just gave Connor like a fucking leafy chin where it was just like no chin Connor.
Trucker Connor.
Sag.
Yeah,
that was my favorite out of context clip, but I'd say congratulations, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Very well.
Good on you, man.
Thank you. I'll probably do another one at some point in the future, and I'll probably figure out how to make it better.
For sure.
There's definitely ways it can be improved.
Well, what do you think about how you can improve it?
I think having either another additional person join the whole time or rotate out more people is definitely a way to kind of make so that everyone can be more energetic, because it's demanding. Like 13 hours every day is pretty tough for most people. Even like streamers, especially when you're doing stuff outdoors as well, and you're actually getting physical.
Right.
It can be pretty demanding. Probably, I don't know, maybe I feel like I'd have to stay in the RV, but I wouldn't make other people stay in the RV. I feel like just staying in a hotel is so much better, because also like showering was annoying. Like getting
hot water was a commodity.
I don't think we had like no hot water like any time. Like all the campsites had freezing water. It was just so cold. It sucked so much. Definitely gotta find someone who maybe understands the bag and the streaming stuff more.
So you're not the only tech.
Because it's like we start this like the morning prep is like I wake up, I have to get all this bag stuff ready and stuff, and it's like, well, man, I wish I could just shower, turn on the camera and we're going, right? But it's like I have to get it all ready. I have to make sure everything's charged, make sure it's all working.
Right.
And then when we go to bed, when the stream ends, I have to unplug everything, make sure everyone knows what to charge what, and just get everything ready before I can start going to bed. Yeah. So it's kind of tough. I'm just trying to think of how I can make it better. But it was really, really fun, really successful. And I want to do it again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you guys got any plans coming up?
No.
No plans? Nothing?
Well, no, I have I'm doing the cycling thing again.
Yeah, when are you announcing that? By the time this episode is out, are you going to have announced that?
I think it'll be done. No, it'll be like basically done.
Oh shit!
I think it'll be like because this is like
tell us all about it.
It's like a month from now, right?
Yeah.
This is like coming out halfway. I think like near the end of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing another one of those.
Yeah, because I remember you saying we finished the RV trip and Connor's like, yeah, okay, time to start planning my next event. And I was like, God, fucking hell, Connor.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down. Stay inside for a bit. Play some video games, man.
Stop touching grass.
Yeah. I want to go outside more.
Too much grass, man. Too much grass.
I want to go outside, man.
You're an outdoorsy person now?
Oh, no, I like going outside and doing things.
Yeah.
Also, because be like disgusting.
Yeah. I also want to do more things for charity as well this year. And that's one thing I really want to do. And I hopefully have another event in future that we can do for charity.
Yeah.
I just want to do more cool things. Like I'm not really interested about, I don't know, working in my stream setup and doing that a bunch. Because, I still want to do that. But
yeah.
I think my real passion is just trying to do fun things and how can I make it engaging?
Yeah, I'm very, very excited because by the time this episode's out, I'm going to be back in Thailand. That wasn't like, I didn't originally plan for that, but I think after our last trip where we all went to Thailand and we were only there for a week, I didn't realize how much I missed being back in like my home country.
I miss being in Thailand.
Holy shit! Same. I just wanted to because like when we went back to Thailand, it was like busy every single day.
Yeah.
We had something going on, and it was taking care of everyone coming, and I was just like, last year was so fucking busy. I just want a month where I could just chill out and just maybe do nothing, but just enjoy the sun, enjoy the nice weather, and just fucking chill out. And I was just like, I was thinking to myself, how long has it been since I last had that? I literally cannot remember since the beginning of Trash Taste, I think.
I feel like even just like this year, January and February, we've done more just in these past 2 months than like 6 months last year.
Yeah,
like it's just like I keep waking up and looking at my calendar. I'm like, how is it still February? Like it feels like I've been doing shit for like 6 months.
Yeah,
it's just so jam packed. But I mean, we do it to ourselves, so it's whatever.
Exactly.
No one else to blame.
I like being busy. I like being busy.
I do too, but
I like it as well.
I also like relaxing.
Yeah,
I do. I don't know. It's weird. Like I feel like I enjoy. Okay, question. When you like work a lot, how many days or even a day or like how much time do you need to mentally kind of like have a reset?
Like per week or? I try and give myself at least 1 or 2 days.
Like what's the ratio? What's the ratio of like work to like break that you can do? You guys are in sync.
Yeah, that was like the brain cell firing up. Right? It's like, I don't know. For me, it's weird, right? Because I have these like, it's either one mindset or the other, and I find it really hard to find a balancing middle ground. I don't know if that makes any sense, but there will be like entire months where I'm like grinding every day. I've got something going on every day. And then like I've got this like kind of like, my mind's just like constantly busy. I got to do something. And then there have been points where I've had a week off and I've like, it's taken me just a few days just to get used to having nothing to do. But like once my mindset switches, it also takes effort to get back into like the grinding mindset as well. The best analogy I can think of is, remember back in like university, college days where you had like exam season, right?
Yeah.
And every single day for like a month, you'd be studying for
like
exams, 2 months. You'd be studying for exams and you'd be taking exams. You'd just be, every day you'd wake up, open a textbook, studying till you sleep, and just piss yourselves because you're like, fuck, I'm going to fail this exam, right? But I've got to get this shit done. And the only thing you could think of is, I'm so fucking excited for when this is over. I'm going to do so much. I'm going to do so fucking much.
Yeah.
You're like, every day you open your book, you look at your Steam library and you're like, one day. That day when this exam over, I'm going to get
just slowly caress your monitor.
Yeah.
I'm almost there.
Yeah, I'm almost there. And then you get to the last day. you finish the exam, you're like, I'm fucking done. Holy shit. I feel so good. What do I do now?
Yeah.
Like that's my life now, where it's like I have this like month where it's entirely booked out, and then I get to the end of that month, and which it's slowly coming up now because I packed myself in February. I gave myself some time off to chill out in Thailand, and then I finished all my work. And then I remember I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So what I ended up doing was helping my mates, actually. so instead of taking a holiday, I ended up helping Sydney film, helping Connor with his RV trip and everything. And then I just realized I just ended up filling up my schedule doing other things instead of taking a break, which is why I felt like if I take a break,
leave the country.
I need to leave the fucking country to actually stop myself.
Nowhere is safe.
Yeah. Like I can't do anything if I'm in a different country, right? It is
the ultimate. Like, sorry, man, I'm busy.
Yeah, sorry, man, in a different country.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I recently, I'm pretty sure I said this in Trust's Ray. I bought this really fucking nice coffee machine. It was way too much money, but it's been.
But you've reached that age. Now you've reached that age where like you're like, my highlight right now is I bought a new coffee machine.
Honestly, true. And it's made my mornings so much better. Just to have a lovely ritual where I put the beans in, I grind the beans, and it's so nice. It's so nice. I steam the milk myself as well, and I'm like, dude, this is great. Like, and just so like for me, if I have like a little I say lion, but like if I can get like a nice little relaxing morning where I can kind of have an hour and a half to kind of chill out before I have to do something, dude, that's like I can reset like that. Like that for me is enough because then I get to make this coffee. I get to have a really nice chill morning. Yeah, and then I can start doing my stuff.
Yeah, I think it says a lot that after everything we've talked about, after like all the exciting things you've done off camera, like the most passionate I've ever seen Connor recently. It wasn't like being excited for the RV trip or anything. It's talking about his fucking coffee machine.
Is my favorite.
Dude, I get
it.
I remember coming to your house and you're like, yo, you got to see my coffee machine, man. Try a bit of the coffee. Come on, let me tell you about my mornings now.
We've literally gotten to that point because like I recently bought like a new vacuum cleaner like a couple of days ago. I got the latest Dyson one. Yeah. I've never been that excited in my life to use. I'm like, this is not. I could try this out.
The green laser that shows you the shit on the floor.
Green laser, and also has like the little monitor on the back that shows you the different particles that you've sucked off.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
So like the floor looks clean, but then this laser, when it points at the floor, shows you all the shit that's hidden. It's kind of scary.
And it gives you a percentage of like house dust and like other specs and like
tells you what's in the shit.
It tells you what's in the shit. I'm like, oh, okay. I got a little bit more house dust today. All right, let's go.
Dude, Dyson makes some overpriced garbage, but I will say their vacuums very good.
Oh yeah.
They should keep doing that.
Yeah.
I mean they are. But yeah, no, I mean it's great because like I also get to go to like there's a local coffee store near me that just does beans. And I love going there. I love beans. I love going there. I love talking to the elderly couple that runs it and just saying like, man, I like this beans that you gave me. So I like these ones. It's nice. It's like a whole experience. And then I get excited to try the new blend that I bought. Dude, it's just like great. It's like a nice like whole chain of just every part of it makes me feel like more of an adult and more like, I don't know, just taking care of myself, just having a nice coffee. Even though now I probably drink an unhealthy amount of coffee. More so. It's hard because I have to pull back a little bit now.
Yeah.
Because like day one, dude, it was like, dude, I had like 9 coffees. I couldn't stop. It was so good. It was so good.
You had 9 coffees.
It must have been hyperbolic. It was pretty like exaggerating. Sorry.
That's what drug addicts do.
It was like 5. It was still too much.
It's like I had 5 hits when I first tried it, man. I couldn't stop.
It was still too much. It was a lot, but it was great. And so now I'm trying to keep to 2 a day.
Look at us, man. Getting excited for coffee machines, wanting to go to a driving range again.
I think it's like
we've gotten to that point.
I get it now. Like I because when people that whole thing that people do sometimes. This always happens every time on the internet after like a few months where like there'll be that article that's like no, people aren't broke, they're just spending it on the wrong things. And it's like, dude, sometimes that little thing makes someone so happy.
It is.
Why would you say that stuff? Like if that, yes, people do frivolously spend sometimes, but sometimes you need those little things.
It is
that like just get you through the day. Like sometimes you have a rough day, you have a rough schedule coming up, you got a packed work week, and just having that milkshake having that McDonald's something, maybe buying that one silly thing you shouldn't have bought, just got you through the week.
I had that recently because I bought a fucking Groove Coaster controller.
Oh, you are the king of buying useless shit. All right, let's be real.
Joey, you are that person, okay?
It made me so happy.
Yeah.
Joey will be the guy who's like, I bought a giant trampoline. And we're like, Joey, you don't have a backyard. He's like,
I'll make it work.
I'll find one.
I'll find a backyard that I can put it in.
Joey's like, I bought 1 out of 10,000 Pink Floyd signed albums. Yeah. And I'm like, all right.
Dude, I wish. I fucking wish. But I ordered this fucking like custom made like Groove Coaster controller that like can connect to your computer, just like simple USB. You can also play it on the Switch as well.
Have you done it on stream yet?
Yeah. Not on stream yet, but I've been playing it mostly off stream just because it makes me personally happy.
You gotta bring it on the stream, man.
I'll get to it eventually, but just every morning it's just like a ritual now where I'm like, I got an hour free. Boom! Just right on the desk for an hour. That's my morning coffee. that's my shot of caffeine in the morning.
Did you have like a purchase? Because I feel like we all had a pretty similar mindset, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have a similar mindset where, you know, in college you couldn't imagine spending your money on anything other than things that will help you survive, right? Anything like if you need something outside of just, you know, video games. I don't really count video games, you know, because, you know, everyone buys video games. Everyone needs some entertainment in their lives, you know. Everyone has like.
I mean, it's integral to my survival. Personally.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like it's integral to my survival. So is like a fucking Netflix subscription or whatever, right? You know, or you know, something, you know, outside of, you know, basic, you know, laptop. Subscriptions or like video games, and you know, and food comes after those. In fact, you know, those in university, those were more necessary to me than having a nice meal. Okay?
Like, I could buy a PS4 right now, or I could not eat top ramen for the next 10 months. PS4 sounding good.
Yeah. Do you remember that first moment you realized I have disposable income now? What do I do with disposable income? There's and it's,
I think first time, like, I think any of us got like our first paychecks from YouTube, right? Being like, oh no, for me it wasn't even YouTube. For me it was fucking the BBC. Oh yeah.
Just realizing that I worked there. Just to say, this isn't a YouTuber conversation right now.
Right.
Just I remember getting that first check.
No, same with my other jobs as well. Yeah.
Well, I was unemployed before that. So, actually, no, that's not true. The first time I got a paycheck was when I was working in the ski fields in Nisiko when I was 16, and I used that.
What'd you buy?
Paycheck. I bought a 3DS.
Hell yeah!
I was like, you know, I could like, you know, maybe go to a nice restaurant with like some friends, or you know, go out and go to a pub or something, you know, like something like that. And I was just like, I really want to play that new Animal Crossing though. I just don't have the 3DS. Fuck it. I bought a 3DS, and it was the best purchase I ever made.
Yeah, I can't remember what my first. I mean, outside of like games, like I said, I don't really count games. But I feel like if I spend more, the thing I probably spend the most of my disposable income now is probably like meals, good food. I remember a point in my life where I could eat the same thing every day and be satisfied with it.
I'm still at that point.
I'm still kind of at that point, but sometimes I'm like, I kind of want a nice meal, like every time I can.
In university, I just bought those 3 kilogram bags of pasta, and I would just boil it, then salt it and eat it.
Not even with sauce?
Wouldn't even with tomato sauce. I just
that's psychotic.
Because that just took too long, and I just wanted a meal because I wanted the game, and I didn't want to spend money, and you could eat like 2 months, like a month worth of meals just on like pasta for like $2.
Nah,
isn't it insane? I mean, unhinged.
I mean, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Doesn't mean you should.
I mean, pasta and salt. It was just pasta and salt. Like, and occasionally, I would get I would maybe put chicken in it. But
God, your arteries must have been crying.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, luckily,
carbs and sodium.
So it was like lunch at the student things. It was like you could get things that were like very cheap, and so I would eat that a lot, and so I saw that as like me spending money, so I was like, okay, for lunch or dinner, whenever I'm back home, I have to get something that's cheap,
right?
Yeah,
so I would just make that. It was bad.
I don't know, like to me the peak broke uni student food is cup ramen, instant ramen.
That's too expensive. Like if you get a 3 kilogram bag of pasta, it lasts way longer and is way cheaper than pot noodles.
I would literally just buy in bulk. I would have
Even
like
in bulk.
I would have like a literal I would have a literal drawer that was just a ramen drawer.
Yeah, I did that
full of
too.
like full of like cup ramen and packed ramen. I don't know. Like to me that's like still the peak of like broke uni student food. I don't think it was that expensive, was it? I don't know. Maybe
It was expensive for me.
And some ramen are normally like 30p each one, which is not that much. But
Yeah.
obviously a 3
from
kilogram
like
bag
Costco.
of-
Yeah.
well, there was no Costco near me.
Okay, because
Yeah,
I would
same.
I would just buy like I would have like a monthly shipment of like ramen,
Damn.
either from my mum or just like online.
I realize now, I'm like, I got to university and, your parents drive off. And then I was like, wait, where do I buy food from? Like, because the nearest supermarket was like 20 minutes away in my car. And I'm like, I don't have a car.
When I was back at home, food just spawned in the
Yeah.
fridge.
Yeah, I
It's
realized, I was like, holy fuck, how do I go to the store to buy this stuff? And I just kind of have to like, be like, whenever anyone went to the supermarket who had a car,
Yeah.
it was like, hey, can I join? Can I?
Yeah.
And luckily one of our friends did have it, so I occasionally went with them.
Yeah.
Or you would have to do, but again, I don't know what they used to do before. Like when we started university, at the Tesco delivery thing. Like supermarkets, I don't know, they do this in Australia. You can order online and they'll deliver it to your house.
Like from a supermarket?
Yeah.
No, we definitely didn't have
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
No.
They'll deliver it to you. So I did Tesco Express or Direct, whatever it was, like 1 million times.
Right.
Right.
And the dude would just turn up and he would deliver all your stuff to you,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's handy.
which is great. But you had to pay like a small fee. It wasn't that much.
Yeah.
For a unit to it, but it was great. And you could order like 500 frozen pizzas, which I then upgraded to. That was-
Upgraded.
Yeah. Well, you really like.
I think anything's an upgrade from
Yeah.
fucking
Dude,
pasta and salt.
there was only so many times I could do it before I started to really get like struggling.
It's like, God, I want flavor.
And then I realized that like oven pizzas are like £1 each for
Yeah.
one, and it's a
Yeah.
whole meal. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I just started eating oven pizza every day. I think I think there was stints where I would eat oven pizza like 20, 30 times a month.
How
Yeah.
much weight did you gain from that?
Oh, a lot. Like a
yeah, I
lot,
bet.
a lot.
Yeah.
I ate
Yeah.
a lot of
Fucking
oven.
hell.
That's where I started getting chubby in university. I didn't realize
Right.
because I just ate Monster Energy drinks, and if Ben and Jerry's was on sale occasionally, I might cop one.
Splurge.
I might get one.
Was that your biggest not knowing how to adult moment in university?
Oh, for sure. When I realized, like, fuck, what the fuck do I eat? And I realized I was.
I realized I didn't know how to feed myself. Like,
and I came to the conclusion that I was fundamentally too lazy and I would never enjoy cooking.
Yeah.
So what I would do is that like occasionally we would all take it in turns cooking things.
Yeah.
So we did that occasionally where we would take it in turns.
we
cooking.
would.
That rarely happened.
I wish we had that because I had heard of some like households that are like, yeah, I cook on this day and everyone feeds everyone, and I'm like, if I think I purposely avoided that kind of household because I would not know what to cook. I'd be like, how do I can't feed myself. How do I feed several sentient human beings?
I'm just imagining like if it's Connor's turn to like cook, he's like, bring out the pasta and salt. I got a banger for you boys. Trust me, you'll learn to love it.
Good one. It's a good one.
Yeah. Because now I see like a lot of TikToks and a lot of like shorts being like, if you need to like if it's like 11 p.m. and you don't know what to cook, here's the perfect recipe for you.
I think I know the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what? And I look at that, I'm like, man, I wish I ate this well as a broke uni student.
Dude,
Holy fucking shit.
I look at that today and I'm like, that's a great fucking idea. I might do the same.
Getting all those spices was super expensive.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
It was.
It was not like seasonings and stuff were very expensive.
Yeah.
Flavor was expensive.
Yeah, like getting certain things, it'd be like, all right, what if you wanted like, I don't know, like basil leaves, right?
Yeah.
Like that's cool and all, and that's great,
Yeah.
and it would help. But like, they cost nearly the same amount as an oven pizza.
Yeah.
Just for that.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, well, what the fuck am I like? Obviously, I'm going to get the oven pizza, and then you realize, oh shit, this is why everyone's unhealthy in this country, because it's like the oven pizza. I just stuck it in for 20 minutes, and boom, I have a delicious meal. Like,
Right.
I still love oven pizza. This shit is fire. Not in Japan, it's terrible. And they don't really have it.
No.
But the ones they do have, terrible. But we had some pretty good ones, and I loved it.
Yeah,
and
we
it's
have
it's
good ones in
It's
the
like,
UK.
damn. And then I got to clean up when I'm cooking. I just chuck it in the oven, no tray. I just put it in there.
Did you ever attempt to eat healthy in
No,
university?
not even remotely.
I don't think there's a single uni student who attempts to do that.
Remotely,
Unless they're rich.
dude.
So by healthy, I don't mean like, actually salads or whatever, but like at least trying to keep
I
a
had a
balanced
cou- I had a-
diet,
I had a-
not
no.
pizza every day.
No. I had a couscous stint. I ate couscous for like
A couscous stint?
For like 6 months. I ate couscous.
Or couscous and salt.
No, because you could buy instant couscous. So it would be in a packet, right? And it was pretty delicious, and it was relatively healthy.
How is that any different to instant ramen?
Because it was way cheaper.
Yeah, because it's just a smaller noodle.
Yeah, you could just pour a bunch in a bowl, and it was like a nice snack. So sometimes I would just pour like 4 in a bowl.
Yeah.
It'd cost like £1, and I would just eat that.
Yeah.
And you pour in a bowl, pour boiling water in, and boom, you got instant couscous. It's pretty bomb.
Yeah.
It was like what's that chef's name, the famous one in the UK, who did the yeah boy meme?
Oh, Ainsley.
Yeah, Harriet.
Ainsley.
Ainsley Harriet.
Just
That guy. He had his own couscous brand, and it would always go on sale. So I used to just buy tons of it. I had cupboards full of this.
I'm okay. I'm gonna say this. You know, a lot of people clown on Uncle Ben's.
Bro, I love Uncle Ben's.
I think Uncle Ben's is the fucking goat, man.
The golden rice.
Okay, yeah,
the golden rice.
I'm just saying. As an Asian, sometimes I can't be bothered to cook my rice. Okay, sometimes I just want to put that shit in the microwave. Okay, sometimes I would make some rice and then I'd realize I didn't finish the rice and I'd left it out for too long. I'd be like, fuck. Do I wait 40 to 50 minutes to like make another batch of rice? Or do I just put in a pack of Uncle Ben's?
Sometimes you just want rice right now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I think if I had a rice cooker, I didn't even know they existed. If I knew they existed and I had one, I would eat way more rice stuff. Because I cooked like rice the white way.
Yeah.
Like in a saucepan.
Yeah.
And then I would strain it with once I cooked the rice, I was taught to strain it with boiling water.
Yeah.
So I would strain it with boiling water.
Yeah.
Stop, it hurts.
It's fucking awful. And it tastes like shit. I didn't know why.
Because you're literally washing away all the flavor.
Yeah, and I didn't know that because I hadn't been taught anything
Someone
else.
send this clip to Uncle Rogers right now.
Oh, dude.
But like, that's the thing, right? It's lack of education.
Right.
We didn't know how to cook rice.
Lack of education.
We didn't know how to cook rice. I was never taught any other way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And so that's, I ate it like that. And sometimes I would you'd make chicken curry because you could buy those. There's so many of them in the UK because we're obsessed with it. You could easily buy these like 1 pound pots of chicken curry that you just literally just heat up. Yeah. And then you have curry.
Yeah.
And they were pretty good.
All right.
Like it wasn't great. But as a uni student, it was great if you wanted some curry.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, important question. Rice or bread?
In terms of what?
In terms of
like general consumption.
In terms of you have to pick one, the other one disappears from the world, and you can only have rice or bread for the rest of your life with any meal.
Oh, that's
which carb do you pick? Which carb do you pick?
Bread. And that's not because I'm white, right? I think there's substitutes for rice that exist.
Ooh, okay.
And also, I don't always need rice. I'll be sad. I'll be sad that fried rice is gone.
No,
I'll be sad.
No.
I'll be sad.
You don't always need bread, but I could always do with some rice, man.
Are you telling me that means some of the most goated foods on earth are gone, like sandwiches and burgers and hot dogs.
We have onigiri for a reason, right? That's
Japanese McDonald's has the rice burger.
The Japanese have figured it out.
Like, this is like asking, like, you go to the konbini, right? Because they have the sandwiches right next to the onigiri. Which one do you go for, right?
Okay.
I'm a sandwich guy. I do sometimes get onigiri.
Yeah.
My God, this is the one time I regret being half Asian. Because I can't decide.
Full white, full Asian. I'm rice all the way. I could not give up rice with like half the meals I cook with.
First of all, konbini sandwiches and onigiris. Let's just talk about that for a second.
Okay.
We'll go back.
I agree. Sandwiches better than onigiri. But
onigiri is like a gamble, I feel. Like the filling quality you get is so 50-50. And if you get no filling in it, I feel so bad that I just ate a block of rice. I'm like, shit, that didn't taste good. And with like sandwiches, always good. You always get the same level.
Yeah, I mean, like you'd be giving up some like goated things like, pizza. That would be
Pizza's gone. Are you telling me that you're willing to get rid of pizza? I didn't even think about that.
You know what? I would, because like to
You're
me,
a clown, Garnt.
To me, rice is the perfect just neutral thing. It's just give me any meat or any kind of meal, and like you need some kind of neutral filling with that. Rice just plays that role perfectly.
Is wheat gone? Is this like is everything wheat based gone? Is beer gone?
No. Just specifically bread.
Okay.
You know, if
I've
come to my decision.
Okay.
I've thought about it long and hard. I love
Okay.
both bread and rice,
Okay.
but I'm gonna have to side with bread on this one.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to side with
his
bread.
German side won there.
My German
won.
side has won.
Yeah.
Just because I'm thinking about the sheer variety of breads as opposed to the sheer variety of rice. And rice, as much as I love it, a lot of times can be replaced with bread in a lot of meals.
Not a lot of Asian things. But
Yeah, not a lot of Asian things, for sure.
I'm thinking of because
Not a lot of Asian things, but
Yeah.
in the case with like a carb companion,
yeah.
a lot of things can be replaced with bread.
Like, how are you going to eat soup without bread now? That's gone.
You can do it with rice. No. Yeah. Actually, you can.
I mean, you can, but
You shouldn't.
I know you
should.
can. Actually,
No.
we do that in Thailand. Actually, you know, it depends on this. You can eat. You can. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You can. You can.
You can stick your dick in the fridge. Doesn't mean you should. I can, but I'm not going to.
There is nothing wrong. Actually, you know, depending on the soup, some soup goes so well with rice. You know.
Okay, look, I get it.
I cannot imagine eating
Okay, tom yum and like soup curry, I understand,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
rice is probably the better companion.
Yeah.
But in the wider world of soups, bread is the goat.
I'm not saying rice is better than bread. I'm just saying, you know, it's rice in a starving world. In a starving world, okay? In a world where aliens have invaded Earth and, you know, gun to your head, rice or bread, which one goes?
Bread.
I would be like,
No, I'm keeping the bread.
I would be like, oh, I think I would keep the rice.
Isn't like katsu's gone too? Because that's breading, right? And like fried chicken, that's bread technically. There's a bit of bread in.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, that's true. I mean,
I honestly think
that's
now-
like flour.
Now
you
that
know?
I'm thinking about it, I think that curry, like Japanese curry, would go bomb with bread. I feel like it's some,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Coco curry should just get rid of the rice. Let's just a side of bread. You can just scoop it up with. That sounds so good.
I mean, they do the cauliflower rice, which actually goes quite
Exactly, exactly. We don't need rice. We have cauliflower rice. Cauliflower rice is so good. You know, actually, in America, do you remember when I ordered that thing? I ordered cauliflower chicken,
Yeah,
fried
yeah,
chicken,
yeah.
and I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And it looked like exactly like a piece of fried chicken on the outside.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
with the buffalo
No,
sauce. Right?
I don't.
No, it was like a dry rub. It was weird. And it was like, and you bite into this piece that looks exactly like a thick piece of fried chicken, and it was just piece of cauliflower.
Yeah,
It's crazy. I'm sorry, it just blew my mind.
dude, cauliflower's goated.
Yeah.
So good. Low carbs.
Like we have a bad image of cauliflower because it seems to be that one thing we always hated as a kid. But
No, I loved it as a kid.
You loved it as a kid?
Yeah, in the UK, you always had like cauliflower with like a creamy cheese sauce thing. It was always really good.
Oh, that sounds good.
My parents wouldn't serve it to me though. I think they thought it was too bad for me. But my friend's house did.
Yeah, I never got that. I just got like the normal boiled cauliflower. So
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But I like that too.
You like that as well?
I like.
Actually, you just love every vegetable.
I love veg, man. Veg is so good. Carrots is meh, but every other veg is pretty good.
All right. Noodles or pasta?
What am I keeping?
Yeah, what are you keeping?
Pasta.
God, dude.
Like a million times.
Isn't there
over.
way? Oh no, there's a lot of noodle variations.
There isn't a lot of noodle.
There's a lot of
variation.
noodle variations.
Have we had? I feel like we've had this date. I'm getting deja vu. Have we had this discussion? I feel like I was about to say there's way
Maybe.
more.
We might have.
I was about to say there's way more noodles of pasta, way more variation of pasta, but then I think you rebutted. No, there was way more variations of noodles.
I think it might have been one of our like first episodes where we talked
Yeah.
about like food.
I don't think we've.
What
had
if we're
this-
literally reliving an entire? And this is like so weird.
So I was gonna clip it too.
Yeah.
I think we might have had a similar conversation off camera. I don't think we've had it.
I think
I feel like this would. I feel like if it is, it would be a bigger meme probably. I feel like I would have seen some memes on the subreddit
But
about
pasta
this.
for sure.
Pasta.
yeah, I'm keeping
100%.
pasta.
No
I
question.
agree. I agree.
There we go.
I
Finally, we agree with
gotta
something.
betray my Asian brethren. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I love my noodles, man. It would feel so bad losing out on all of the noodles, all of the ramen, all
Just
the
use
Thai
spaghetti,
noodles,
innit?
Chinese noodles. Just use spaghetti.
Just kidding.
But honestly, Italians, I gotta fucking give it to
Yeah.
you guys. You guys made something goated,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I could not give
It's
up
my
pasta.
favorite carb.
It is.
It's
It is.
so
It
good.
is.
Hands down.
Pasta, goated carb.
Yeah.
God, I love pasta, man.
I've never met a single person who doesn't like pasta.
Yeah, I know, right?
Everybody loves it.
Yeah, it's like Italian cuisine, right? What's the most widely seen cuisine you've seen around the world? Because I think to me it's maybe Italian.
Yeah, it's Italian.
Probably
It's the
Italian.
easiest one to get. No matter where I go in the world, sometimes you find a hard time finding like Mexican restaurants. Then you go to America, no problem. Sometimes you have a hard time maybe finding French food or Thai food. But like I've never had a hard time finding an Italian restaurant.
Yeah,
and like even a lot of people I think are going to say like Chinese food, but I feel like China.
There's Chinese food, and then there's Chinese food.
I don't. Okay, here's the thing. I don't think Chinese food exists, right? In the sense, okay,
that's such a good out of context.
Yeah.
I don't think it's real.
In the sense where I don't think Chinese food can be branded as under one umbrella. Right. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because
out of context, Chinese food isn't real.
No, because like different parts of China have different like styles of cuisines. Is what you're trying to say, right?
It's,
for sure.
It's like the variation.
So Italy though as well.
Yeah. Like the variation in Chinese food is so fucking like large that if I go to a place and it's just like, oh, this is a Chinese food restaurant, I'm just like, that's sus.
What part?
What does that mean? What does that mean? Is it Cantonese cuisine? Is it Szechuan? There's China has like so many different styles of cuisine that I would like to know which part of China, which cuisine am I eating, rather than if it's just Chinese food. And I think this comes from growing up in the UK. When it's Chinese food in the UK, it's awful. A lot of Chinese food in the UK is awful because it's just your baseline here is westernized Chinese food as opposed to actual Chinese cuisine. And so finding like actual specialized Chinese cuisine is a lot harder than finding good Italian food, in my opinion.
Yeah. I want to say that next time I go to a Panda Express. I'm like, oh, what part of China is this from?
Yeah.
Is this Szechuan? Or
the Chinese food in America is like barely Chinese food.
Yeah. I remember having this argument with a mate in England, and I was like, sweet and sour chicken, that's not real Chinese food. You go to China and you try and find sweet and sour chicken, you're not going to be able to find that, And he's like, no. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I swear to God, it's my favorite Chinese food, And I'm like saying, that's kind of like saying orange chicken. You know?
It's like, what do you mean I can't get orange chicken in China? It's Chinese food.
Yeah. But yeah, to me, Italians are goated with their food, and it's also, I think, one of the easiest cuisine to find worldwide. I've not been to a country so far where I've had a hard time finding a good Italian restaurant, kind of like anywhere.
That's true.
Yeah, you got it, Italians. Congratulations on the
goats.
Congratulations on the pasta.
You got that dub.
Yeah. What do you guys think about French food?
Not as good as Italian.
I mean, it's all right.
Because, okay, here's the thing. French have the image of being like, oh, we have like the best food, This is where all of the culinary like giants are.
You could have just stopped at we have the best blank.
Like, I think French food, so I used to go to France every year for like, fucking forever. For like 3 weeks at a time. And like French food in France was amazing. And it was so good, like some of the best in the world. But the moment you leave France to get actually good French food, you have to pay out the ass.
Oh yeah.
Whereas I feel like Italian kind of travels a little better. You can get dishes for more
I feel like you need
prices.
to pay out the ass while you're in Paris as well. To be fair.
I mean, outside of Paris is great.
Yeah.
It's a lot more affordable to get really good quality stuff in
sure.
France. But yeah, just it doesn't export well. And I think that's the problem, is that Italian kind of like food, it's very easy to kind of make it in more palatable to whatever culture or whatever country you're in for an affordable price.
It's more customizable.
Yeah. And I just think, France is the problem where to get really good French food abroad, you have to spend a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
That's true.
A lot of the time. Not all the time, a lot of the time. So that's why it feels like kind of like more bougie Italian. Sometimes you're like, fuck it, no, I'll go Italian.
Well, it's like French always has. I think everything French has this image that is bougie.
Yeah.
French, the language sounds bougie a lot of the times. But yeah, like I think one thing I noticed, because I've said before that I spend a lot of money, a lot of my disposable income, trying out different restaurants, because that's like, I guess, my favorite thing to spend money on nowadays. Like one thing that always bothers me about going to, let's say, fancy restaurants, right? Higher tier end restaurants, is that everyone's kind of agreed, right? It's, they taste really good. Is it worth the price? A lot of times, no, it's not worth the price. A lot of times you go for the experience, you go for this kind of like rare ingredient that you can't get anywhere else. It's kind of like you're paying for like the rarity as opposed to the how good it tastes a lot of the times. But one thing that always bothers me is a lot of like higher class restaurants I go to, it doesn't taste the same, but they never go too far of this like taste profile. Nothing ever tastes too strong, you know.
Right.
There's always like a subtle hint of something, and sometimes I just want to. Maybe this is the Southeast Asian in me talking. I want to see what happens if there is a fine dining or a high class restaurant that just commits to having a really spicy food of really strong taste, because obviously that's not going to appeal to anyone or everyone. But that's one thing I would like to see.
I feel though those exist, especially in Japan, in like the mom and pop shops, right? Where it's like they're not afraid to not, pertain to the.
What do you mean by mom and pop shops?
You know, like the locally owned places, right?
Yeah,
that have been around for like several generations. You know, that maybe specialize in a particular dish or a particular style of dish.
Yeah,
because they're not afraid of alienating the general consensus. Like
exactly.
they just want to. They like, we have this one thing, and this is our gimmick, and if you fuck with it, then you can come back at any time. But if you don't, then go somewhere else. You know, like they don't care about becoming like this, big thing or having this, large name in the restaurant world, if you will. So it's like, because like some of the weirdest shit I've ever eaten, and I've eaten a lot of weird shit in my life, has always been in the most like dingy local places that just don't really give a fuck. They're like, yeah, this is our weird thing. Yo, you like it? Cool, thanks.
I'm curious about you, Joey. When have you had like a shokugeki moment? The fucking you take a taste.
I mean, the Korean fried chicken, I almost.
Oh, really? Okay.
And also, the first time I went to that Skimen place I took you guys to.
Yeah, that was Tsukemen. Like, there are a few dishes that have made me had the shokugeki moment. Tsukemen is like one of those places. There's a lot of Thai dishes I remember as a child that still sticks with me to this day. First time lasagna, man, of course. My first lasagna, I still remember that shit, man. It wasn't even like a great lasagna, but I'm just like, holy shit.
Sure.
Holy shit. How can you improve pasta above sauce?
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
It is good.
What about you, Connor?
Lasagna. Just most foods.
He has one every day, I believe.
That's true.
I think as long as it's not pasta and salt, I'm a nut. I'm very
anything's a nut.
He's experienced the bottom of the barrel, so anything else is above it.
I'm very easy to please with food. I just want something that makes me full and tastes good, and I'm happy.
I feel that's why we're such shit chefs.
Yeah.
Because if we actually cared about food, then
that's why I don't want to. I don't want to get a better palate. I fucking love what I eat right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I don't know. I think going on a tangent, I've tried like cooking a bit more. And obviously I'm biased, but I think I could be a pretty good cook. And I think part of the reason I could be a pretty good cook is because I'm a really picky eater.
Oh yeah.
I want things to taste exactly. I have a way that I want them to taste exactly in my mind. And when I get that, I'm like, holy shit, this tastes fucking
Well, I would
bomb.
argue that's what makes the best chefs, right? Like they actually care about what goes into the food and the small subtleties of what makes a dish great. Like if you didn't give a shit about it, then you'd be like, you end up like Mr. Pasta and Salt over here.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, if it's edible,
does the job.
It's going in my tummy.
If I had more time, I'd probably cook more because I do enjoy cooking. I do enjoy the final result. There's a lot of things I enjoy in life.
Out of the three of us,
I enjoy the final result. I don't enjoy the aftermath or some of the process of what happens before that final result. But when you get that final result in, it's so fucking satisfying.
Yeah, for
God,
sure.
I sound like Maylin right now.
She's rubbing off on you, dude.
Maybe you've been hanging out with Maylin too much.
Yeah.
Going back to Thailand. Okay. I don't know if this is just people that I've had around me. But there's one thing I've realized growing up and talking to more of my Asian friends, and I want to confirm if this is a thing that's widespread or if this is a me thing.
Connor's
right?
got you on that one.
Huh? I got you.
Okay. I can ask you this, okay? Does every Asian family have the spiciest fucking Asian drama, like the spiciest family drama just hidden away somewhere? Or is this just something I've just noticed as I've like grown older about the people around my friends and my Asian families?
I don't think it has to do with an Asian family. I think it just has to do with big families.
Right.
Because the more people get involved, the more likely you're going to run into someone not liking someone.
Yeah.
Right? Because my Asian family is quite small, like comparatively to other Asian families.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, like I don't really know of any like drama that's happened in the family.
Yeah, I've noticed this because I've because growing up, especially in a lot of Southeast Asian families I've seen, you grow up and you grow up with a lot of the same like family values, treasure family, love your family, and like there's a big thing, in Thailand where you call everyone, auntie or uncle or cousin or brother. You call your cousins brother, sister, and sometimes you call family friends brother and sister, and then you call your auntie and uncle, and then you call your family's friends auntie and uncle as well. Yeah. Right? So a lot of the times, with how big the families are, you don't actually know who your auntie and uncles are.
By blood.
Like, who your aunties and uncles are, and then there'll be someone who you call auntie and uncle, right? And I've confirmed this with like a few friends, and you grow up, everything's great, everything's we're a nice big happy family. Yeah. You grow older, and then you ask around, and you're like, and then there'll be this like you'll talk to like one of your uncles, and then they'll mention something about a family member, about this huge drama that happened before you were born, right? And then you realize, so like this auntie's not my real auntie, or that auntie's not my real auntie, or something like that. Navi's fucking... I feel like I've just like disrupted a core memory from Navi right now.
That's so bizarre.
That's so Southeast Asian.
And I thought... I remember realizing... I remember thinking I had a normal family, and then as I grew older, the more like... the more dark history I uncovered behind some of the shit that happened like with not my immediate family, but like some of my extended family. Yeah. And then I remember like talking to my friends about this, and I was like, I had the conversation with some of my Southeast Asian mates, and I was like, yeah, there's this weird thing I discovered about my family the other day, and they were like, oh no, that's like 5 of my aunties. Like that's
the fuck.
It's just, I feel that's such a Southeast Asian problem purely from the fact that you said 5 of my aunties. I'm like, dog, I don't even have that many on both sides of the family. Yeah. Let alone on one side.
Yeah, I had one friend who was just like, I had this auntie that I thought was like my blood related auntie for like a long time, and I found out no, she's not even like blood related family at all. And then another friend was just like, so there's this one cousin who I didn't realize was just like a love child, I guess. And just nobody talked about it.
Does every Asian just have trust issues? Like I would be like, who do I trust?
Dude, don't look at me, dog. I feel that's very Southeast Asian. Not Eastern Asian.
Fuck.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I fucking love all the shitty romances I do, man. Maybe it's just in my blood, man. Maybe it's in my blood.
That's why I'm more of an enjoyer of the pure romance shows, right? Because we got no problems in my family.
Yeah. The older I've grown up, the older I realized, like all the cheesy soap operas that I thought were ridiculous, maybe that's like more based on reality than I first thought.
You didn't see the small text that says this is non-fiction.
Yeah. Because I realize every time you go, it's especially like the big family gatherings, like every time I've been to like a family wedding, there's some new piece of information that just gets unearthed.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, weird tangent. I wanted to confirm if it was a me thing or if there are any other Asians out there that know what I'm talking about, okay?
Oh, C Gang has definitely got your back on that one,
dude. It's bizarre.
Yeah. How big's your like
not very big
family?
Yeah, not very big.
Yeah.
And even then, like when you do have cousins, you don't really talk to cousins. I never ever talk to my cousins.
Do you not?
Do you text your cousins or anything like that?
Yeah, all the time.
I don't even know half of my family. It's like
a white people thing, but like it's like you don't talk to your cousins unless it's like an awkward interaction.
I fucking love my cousins. My cousins
I like them. I like them. Yeah, it's always like in some kind of setting where I talk to them.
I feel it's definitely a white thing because my white side of the family, my white side, I don't even know any of them. Like
you don't?
I supposedly have about like 10 to 15 cousins that all live in Germany, and I don't even know what they look like. I don't know their names. I've never met them.
I feel like outside of immediate family, like I feel like generally like white people don't really care that much unless there's a unless they're actually like really good friends with them. I think we put way more importance on like friends than I think.
It's too many degrees of separation. I feel.
Yeah, I think outside of immediate family, it's like no.
Yeah. I have this weird thing where if it's like if they're family and you know, if they're blood related, I feel like we're all instilled with this value that you know if they're blood related, they're like a brother to you, they're like a sister to you. I remember like one of like the weirdest things that has happened to me is where I actually like discovered long lost family once. So yeah, like I said, both my parents have like a very very big family. And I had an uncle who unfortunately passed away before I was born. So there was this uncle that I just like never knew, right?
Blood related?
Blood related.
Okay.
Yes.
We gotta make sure.
Actually, yes. I have to clarify. Yes. 100% blood related.
Asians when they see the 23andMe and find out they don't have 15 uncles.
Sometimes we have like secret uncles. You know? Who knows? It's fucking Southeast Asian family drama. But yeah, like I had an uncle who I never knew because he passed away before I was born. So he had a so my uncle had a kid with someone from Switzerland, right?
Okay.
Never knew this for the longest time, right? And by sheer coincidence, right? We had it was just me and my mum and my dad, and we had a family trip to Switzerland. And we were just going for like, you know, we'd never been to Switzerland before. We just wanted to visit. And my dad had an old phone number of my uncle, of his brother that had passed away. And he was married to, you know, someone who was from Switzerland, and he had that phone number. So he was like, you know what? We have lost all contact with my cousin, right? Who is my dad's nephew, right? Hasn't seen him since his brother passed away. Let's try phoning this number and see what happens. And so we phone it, and someone picks up. Luckily, it's Switzerland, so you know they speak English as well. And they said, "Oh, sorry, this person doesn't live here, but we can give you the number. We can give you the number where the previous owner moved to."
Right.
And so we tried phoning this new number, and then we had gotten to like my auntie, you know, my uncle's, my uncle's. Is it step aunt? How would you classify this? This is getting
too many degrees of separation.
This is getting so confusing now. But my uncle's wife, basically.
Okay.
My uncle's wife. Okay. And we'd gotten through to them. And then, you know, my dad had an amazing moment where he got to reconnect with his nephew, who he had not seen for literal decades. And who, like, my cousin didn't even, like, I think that was the first time he'd spoken to him, because he was that young when when my uncle passed away. And so I had this weird like moment where where my dad was like, so we're gonna meet your cousin now. You've never met your cousin. Jesus. but your family. But like instantly, like it was a great moment where I'd seen him for the first time, and I got to meet him, and I could instantly tell, oh, he's blood related. Oh, with that thing, like, because he looked he had like a lot of similar features to my dad, and it was just this moment where I had just found long lost family, and I'm like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, this is so fucking surreal. I didn't know how to like process this. I literally didn't know how to process this. But we just like, after just one conversation, I'm like, oh, okay, your family. And instantly, like after one conversation, I could tell there was like, at that time, he barely spoke English, right? Because he was more speaking French and German at the time. He barely spoke English, but even though I was like a teenager back then, even though we could only communicate through like very, very simple sentences, I could feel like a bond there. And like, after meeting him and after discovering that I had a long lost cousin, every time he actually started learning more English as well, and we kind of connected better, and it was like a long lost family bond, and I'm like, that's the good part of good part of family values. Not the spicy Asian drama. So I'm
scared to find anyone on my family tree that I didn't know exists. So that's probably a reason why they disappeared.
It's like a double-edged sword, right? Yeah. That's like the good part where you meet someone, even if you've never seen them before in your life, there's a family value that's instilled in you that no matter what, if you feel like a blood relate, if they're family, you treat them like family, no matter what. But then a lot of Asian families, I feel, take advantage of that as well.
Oh yeah,
there's always I remember,
can I borrow money? Your family, right?
And I remember I remember the first time I watched Summer Wars, right? And the one
tangent is this?
No, okay, it is.
No, I know which direction.
But because Summer Wars.
I haven't seen Summer Wars.
Oh, you haven't seen Summer Wars?
That's why I'm like, what?
Okay, Summer Wars. There's like two parts of Summer Wars. There's one part that's basically like Digimon the movie, but then there's this other part which is basically showcasing this big Japanese family who come together for a family reunion one last time.
There's like 50 of them.
Yeah, there's like 50 of them. And there's this storyline about like the one black sheep of the family that nobody talks about. Yeah. And I swear to God, every one of my Southeast Asian like brethrens, there is I don't know why.
You're just like me for real.
There is always that one black sheep of the family that nobody talks about, but everyone knows about,
right?
Except if you're a kid, you're like, who is this? Who is this man? Yeah. And we're like, it is he who
He's
shall
like the
not be
Voldemort
named.
of the family.
Yeah, it's
right?
like the Voldemort of the family. But yeah, that's.
Yeah, I do agree though with Connor in the sense that like I feel in a lot of like Western families, it's not so much about like cousins that you form like a really close like almost family bond, but more like friends, right?
Yeah.
Because in Japan, I feel the equivalent of that is childhood friends.
Right. Okay.
Like Osana Najimis, like firsthand, I can tell you, like when you are childhood friends with someone, when you like have grown up with someone ever since like before you could even have sentient thoughts.
Yeah.
It's just you have that connection, even if it's like 5-10 years since you met them.
Yeah.
The moment you get back together into a conversation, you're like, it's like nothing's changed, like you could share with them anything that you want. It's so weird though, because it's like I could probably do that with, the cousins that I live that live in Germany that I'm unaware of, but it's like it feels more distant than someone who has been there my entire life, right? Yeah. Even if they're not blood related.
I'm not in contact with any of my childhood friends.
No,
I have more childhood friends than I do cousins.
Those are your brothers. Those are your brothers and
sisters.
That is
my family, dude.
I message occasionally. And I always hit them up when I go back.
Yeah.
I thought I really didn't watch Summer Wars because I thought it was going to be about fighting.
I mean, it is in a sense.
It has fighting in it.
Wars. That was no.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't watch it.
It's like a digital war.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Just think of it's Digimon the movie reskin. That's all it is.
Watch Digimon.
But I liked that.
It's a good movie.
The thing I loved about Summer Wars was the family aspect, because that's the part that I related with. Because I had a very similar kind of like, I guess, family structure where like my grandmother was like probably my biggest influence in life, because she was like the family leader, and she like was the linchpin that like kept everyone together. Holy shit, I'm fucking tearing up. Like, holy shit, like I fucking love my grandma, and like grandma, if you're watching from heaven, I miss you, grandma. But yeah, that's kind of like a big reason why like I remember Summer Wars was because like I had a very, very similar family structure to that, including all of the drama that went with that. And there's always, and I realized that now I'm that uncle who has the weird job, because every uncle has the weird job. I'm that uncle who has the weird job now.
So what does uncle do?
Don't worry about it.
Don't look it up.
But I have an uncle that's a YouTuber? What's this?
That's a job?
Yeah, they never taught me that in school. Yeah, well, thanks.
But anyway, that was this episode of Trash Taste.
Hey, look at the patrons though.
So beautiful.
They're like family to us.
You guys are family.
Hell yeah.
We're family here. We take care of each other.
We care about each other. Shout out to the 3 people that get that reference. Anyway, if you'd like to be the family and support the show at the same time, then go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right. See you guys soon.
Bye.